Hello and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Strider Heap, and I'm going to be your host and DM for Rise of the Dark Side. You don't need to be a Star Wars nerd to enjoy this show. Our cast themselves have all sorts of varying knowledge about Star Wars. New fans can hop in right here, episode 1, and enjoy the ride. And the diehard comic book nerds like me and Lindy, you can look for little Easter eggs I've hidden here and there. But let's go around the cast and crew, figure out who we are. We will save the character descriptions for a little bit later. So just tell me your name, and I want to hear about your tabletop experience, not just Star Wars, but your D&D experience in general. Let's start with our bad boy, who is playing Hype Man for me. Grant, how you doing, man?
You know, Strider Heap, there ain't gonna be nothing left to say after I cut this promo on Encounter Roleplay. Look at us, we got the prettiest faces. I'm bringing the strongest arm and all the charm. I'll be playing Giovanni Australia. He's the Twi'lek scoundrel and a bit of a player, and he wants all the ladies to know he'll get your number and call you later. We're talking long limousine, Strider, custom-made dice. And I want all you Grantomaniacs watching on the Twitch and reading on the Twitters to know that when Grant is in the building, woo! Showtime!
Your character's like, what, 14?
Oh dear.
Starting early.
Awesome. New to the Encounter Roleplay scene, but you've definitely seen her around Twitter if you know anything about Dungeons and Dragons. Kayla, how you doing?
Good. Yeah, my name's Kayla, and I guess my history with D&D is I do a lot of art for it. I did the art for Trapped in the Birdcage. I play a lot of D&D. This is my first stream game, though, ever, so I'm excited about it. It's good to be here.
We have already seen some fan art of Spore, and I just can't wait for even more and more to come in. I am hyped up. Of course, we have Laugh, Love, Lindy. How you doing? It's like I just saw you.
I know, right? I'm doing super duper spiffy. I am ready. I am so ready for Star Wars. I might have a mild obsession with Star Wars. I might have, been a fanatic for the past, 22 years or something. It's been a long time. I've loved Star Wars. I am so hyped. I'm ready. I'm going to be playing Ezla Kor. She's a Force adept, and she is super sassy.
Tremendous.
Oh, and my tabletop experience. I've been playing D&D for like 2.5 years, maybe now. Maybe that long. Call of Cthulhu for about a year, and this is my first Star Wars game.
We definitely don't have enough sass in this group, so you are a well-needed addition. But no, we're hyped to have you here. 2 new friends that I have not personally had the pleasure of playing with yet. Please allow me to completely butcher your Twitter handles here.
Oh no.
Flying.
Oh yes, flying sphere. It's one of those words that's not supposed to be said. I didn't think about that when I picked it out. But yeah, Shauna.
Shauna, then yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I just go for that. Yeah, I'm Shauna. Playing Pow the Zabrak soldier. Play a lot of D&D, a lot of streaming D&D, but my first experience with tabletop stuff was actually the D6 Star Wars games, like long time ago, and I'm so excited to actually play Star Wars again. It's been a long time.
Oh no, I have standards to live up to. Damn it. Last but not least, I am glad we were able to put this off a week longer than we originally planned, so that we can have our nurse here too to help us. And I don't think you're going to be nursing in our game. You're going to be blowing people up and exploding eyeballs, right?
Not to say that doesn't happen at the hospital.
I'm terrified.
But I'm Amber. I'm playing Lyra, Lady Killer's sister over here. My tabletop experience includes just being a dungeon master for a live in-person game with my friends, and then I think I'm in like 2 other online D&D campaigns, getting my ass handed to me in Tomb of Annihilation and Princess of the Apocalypse.
Tremendous. All right, and before we start today's show, I get to play Will and do plugs and upselling and sponsorship things. So we are sponsored by Fantasy Grounds, our virtual tabletop of choice. All the maps and roles you see tonight, we're all going to be using that. I made up a custom system just for this game, so I like it. I like the customizability to be able to play my homebrew stuff as well. But we're going to get into the details and the crunchy bits later. You can try Fantasy Grounds for free at fantasygrounds.com. We're also sponsored by dndice.uk. Go over to their website, save yourself 5% with the coupon code Encounter Roleplay at checkout. And finally, you can get all of your miniatures from Wayland Games. Go to waylandgames.co.uk and get yourself a huge range of D&D, Warhammer, and 40k minis for 20% off. Hashtag sponsor, exclamation point sponsor in chat. Let's do this. Finally, I do want to remind everyone how to interact with today's game. This is an interactive adventure. Apparently, I didn't learn anything from last season on Encounter Roleplay. If you haven't followed yet, hit the follow button. Join us when we hit 20 followers. We get to make a viewer decision. You guys in chat get to vote on something and choose something about the storyline. And it's terrible and beautiful all in one, just like Grant. The same goes for retweets. When we hit 20 retweets, we will have another viewer decision. And of course, you can donate to affect the game, giving players natural ones, natural 20s, wild magic surges. Those still exist in Star Wars, and worse. But without any further ado, let us begin our show. And how do we begin Star Wars? Except by saying, a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. In our theater of the mind, imagine a planet, a small gray orb floating in the smattering of stars. This entire planet is one large city, Coruscant. It's sunrise on Coruscant, but you can never tell here. The skyscrapers block out the sky. There's always cars and smog around. It looks bright with the neon lights, as it always does. On a lone landing platform above the Jedi Temple sits an old ship covered in dust. The ship belongs to old Jedi Master Javan. One note I wanted to make really quick is my players teased the hell out of me because Javan's accent changes with the wind constantly. That's not me. That's actually part of the storyline. Okay, now that you know that. Javan is sitting in his ship with a robot. He pulls back his finger instinctively. Hey, Mom, watch what you be doing. He sticks the bleeding digit right into his mouth to suck on it. Can you please describe Spore for me, Kayla, as you finish sealing up the blood sample you've taken from Master Javan?
Spore is an incredibly tall, feline-looking droid, completely covered in fungus, very cat-like in appearance, very pretentious in the way he moves. He knows what he's doing, and he's proud of it. Yeah, that's about it.
For just a moment, Javan's eyes change from a milky white fog to a flash of blue, only for a second. The rest of the exam, I'm gonna have to wait. We're gonna have company. You didn't invite anybody over, did you, Spore?
Not today, no.
Grant, as you approach this ship following Kaz, can you roll me some kind of repair check, knowledge check, anything technology-wise? It could even be intelligence. You are the tech man of the Jedi Temple.
I am the tech man of... Yes.
You're the number one tech man following your boss, the number one tech woman. A small yellow thing with large goggles.
All right, let's see how this works. So, going through this, what sort of technology am I dealing with? I have a lot of skills. That's about all I have.
I am trying to make you make an observation about Javan's spaceship itself.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a 20-sided die, and I will have a +3 modifier. And for all of you who are bored by me articulating that, I apologize. Thanks for the bits.
Yeah, somewhat sure. Who was that?
I Wendy.
Merciful
I don't know,
DM.
really, guys. All right, so I have rolled a nat 20 to start, +3.
We are starting this campaign off
Woo!
with a nat 20.
Yes.
Get them all out of your
Nice.
system
The way
now.
to
It's not
start
going to
it.
happen again.
It's all
Yeah,
downhill.
let's get
from here.
rid of all of them. Yeah, it's just downhill from here. Fantastic. With a nat 20, I can tell you that Javan Brishan's spaceship is the single worst piece of junk you have ever seen in your entire life. It's definitely not spacefaring ready. There's holes in it. There's panels falling off. There's exposed wiring on the outside. There's wiring that comes from the inside to the outside to power some kind of broken satellite dish on top. The hydraulic systems don't work for the landing ramp for you to actually get inside of the ship. You've never actually been brought aboard Javan Brishan's ship before, but the inside looks exactly the same as the outside. You're stepping around literal holes in the floor as you follow the small woman in front of you. The door opens, and there's a man about 6 feet tall standing in front of you. He has dark bronze skin, but obviously some kind of deep space blood in him, not just human. His eyes are a bright milky white, almost glowing. No pupils. And his dreadlocks are the same color. They're tied down. They go down almost to his waist behind him. He is not wearing any kind of shirt. And just a small training cloth.
How small are we talking?
You were asking the important questions.
I'm 14.
Javan kind of motions to Spore. Spore, you wouldn't mind keeping the youngling busy for a minute and keep him company?
If I have to, I guess.
No, I
Hello,
appreciate it.
youngling. Yeah. And Spore just
Kaz.
looks.
Kaz and Javan disappear into the room Javan came from, and you are left looking at a monstrosity, this huge lumbering figure of a feline droid.
Oh.
Monstrosity is a strong word, but
Yeah.
that's fine.
He's short right now. You're big and imposing.
Like, so describe Spore to me a large feline-looking droid, correct?
Yes, I have him at 6 foot 8 inches, kind of rust-colored, feline in features.
And you're
completely covered.
bipedal.
Yes,
Okay.
completely covered in various fungi that don't look familiar to you, but are very colorful. He's got very big round eyes, and he's just staring at you with disgust.
Grant, I will actually
kind
have
of-
you roll another kind of knowledge check. You can use repair, droid knowledge, any of this kind of stuff, and I'll tell you what you can figure out by looking at the Spore droid.
What can I figure out looking at droid? Let's come on, dice. So Shazam, another nat 20 plus 4.
Jeez.
Yeah.
All the luck. Grant.
Now that's the
hard.
way to start the campaign. Is with
I'm telling you, Fat Boy Grant's ban has been lifted on Encounter Roleplay. I'm coming with a reckoning. You see this?
Save some for us.
Oh,
ones.
man. With a nat 20, I can tell you that you do not know absolutely anything about this droid, and you should, because you know everything about every single kind of droid. This thing has no power source. This thing has no exhaust output. This thing is not wired properly, or at least how you'd see other things wired. In fact, you don't see any access patches, any panels to get inside the droid at all. It seems to be one giant soldered piece of metal that was made simultaneously, all at once.
Kind of like me, except not metal. I'm made out of flesh. I have access ports, though. We won't go into those. So I'm marveling at this peak of droid evolution, just completely in awe, of flabbergasted.
Well,
Hi. That's just sort of how it comes out, voice kind of cracks. My head tails kind of like pop up and down a little. They kind of bounce when I talk that first time, and I'm kind of like embarrassed by it. But I'm just like,
you do have
hey.
head tails. Did you describe your character to us?
Okay, so Giovanni is a taller than average, slouchy, ill-fitting clothes, Twi'lek from Ryloth, I believe. Or no, I'm from Cloud City. I'm from Bespin. And I kind of walk usually with my hands in my pockets and kind of waddle like a penguin. My posture is noticeably bad. My teeth are wonderful for being jagged and pointy and vampiric. And I have lime green eyes and blue skin. And yeah, and I'm just kind of waddling around the droid. I assume that's how I picked up there was no entry ports or anything. But my character mechanically is a bit of a droid specialist. I like to build them. I like to work on them. And like for me, this is like a dream come true. This is the peak of what I would like to design one day or build. So yes, chat, the anime delinquent walk.
Well, Spore is he's trying to watch you walk around him. He's very displeased and irritated. He kind of stops you and he says, small humanoid, my name is SPO-R3, and I have to inform you that your midichlorian level is abysmally low. Are you aware of this? It is very concerning.
I'm on pills and supplements for that, but doctor says it's a phase I'm going through, and I'll just have to write it out.
You can hear the voices slightly escalating in the next room over between Javan and Kaz. Javan's talking a little bit louder now. Well, I don't need that blue one anymore. We can get rid of him. We have the droid. We have Spore now. We will take one step back away from this ship as another pair approach. A tall, distinguished-looking woman, standing perfectly tall, her arms folded behind her back, her brown hair, a dignified, noble coif on the top of her head, with a little streak of gray running down the bangs. As she leads a little blind girl on her side. Lindy, can you describe Ezla?
Yes, I can find the unmute button and describe Ezla. Ezla is very petite. She's very small, maybe a little undernourished, perhaps, at some point, although she looks like she's been eating fairly well recently. She's got very, very pale skin with a few freckles here and there on it. She has very, very haphazardly cut, straight, about shoulder-length hair. Like, I don't know, maybe she couldn't see what she was doing with it when she cut it. It's kind of blue at the roots and fades to a white as it's gotten more of the sun. And she's got like a blindfold wrapped around her eyes and has a cane with like a metal tip on it. She taps around in front of her, just out of habit. Kind of just
now
she probably looks bored. She's like, ugh.
Now, I understand that Master Javan's prerequisite of 300 points on the aptitude test. It's completely insane. But you got 255, and that's the largest number any Padawan or Youngling or anyone's gotten in a decade. And
Are you
Well,
sure?
you-
I
you
need
bl-
to like retake the test. Are you sure? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's like the opposite end of the spectrum. Maybe it's like really low, and you just read it wrong or upside down or something. Maybe it's like negative, and I can go. Nope. Okay.
You got a
Cool.
255. If it was backwards or negative, it would be 552, which would put you.
Did I mention
as a
I can't
Jedi
really
Master.
read? So you know that's a thing.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
I think we should talk to him. I think it would be good. He's special. That one. Have you ever heard of something called the Shatter Point, Ezla?
Nope.
Well, let's just say you're not the only one that can do what you can do.
Okay.
Jarvan Grishin, his
let's
visions
ask him.
have a near 100% accuracy rate.
There's like a non-accuracy rate.
There's metal clanking as the panels scrape together and the broken hydraulic pistons whir as you guys march up a ramp. The Grand Mistress of the Jedi Order kind of steering you left and right to make sure you don't accidentally step into one of the big holes in the ground or brush against exposed electrical wiring. Javin and Kaz both emerge from the room. Javin looking the robot up and down and then looking over at the Twi'lek boy up and down. You're blind, Ezla, but the people in the Jedi Temple, these Force-sensitive individuals, the ones that can move things and do things like you can with their minds, you can get a pretty good read on them. You can see all these people around you. Not physically, but you know what they look like. You know how tall they are.
Can I see the droid?
And unlike normally, your ears aren't the only thing that picks up the whirring on this machine. There's a little bit of life coming from it, the little mushrooms attached to its surface, the funguses, the fungi. But you can see it. You can see its large cat-like eyes. You can see its dexterous digits. You can see the strange way it moves. Not mechanically, not at mathematically efficient angles, but naturally and comfortably. Javin stops mid-sentence and looks over. Grand Mistress, we're not expecting you. More children, then. There's lots of children on my ship today. Oh, well. Javin, I would like to talk to you about taking on another student, another Padawan. I'm busy. She's scored very well on the test. 300. 255, Javin. The highest in... No, not interested. There's two more
he's not
people.
interested. Oh, well.
There's two more people. The ship. An old man. A blue Twi'lek, just like the others. Or just like Grant. But this one, no hair on the top of his head. And a big bushy white beard that pokes out at strange angles underneath his huge mouth respirator. That constantly is whirring with a... He's walking next to Pal, our Zabrak soldier. Now, I do understand you've been here a while, but I want to introduce you to Javin. He's a good man, and I think you and him could see a little bit more eye to eye than some of the other masters around here, if you catch my drift. Can you describe your soldier to us?
Pao is probably around like 5'5". She is a Zabrak, so she has kind of like short black hair with like a row of like neatly manicured horns and face and like spiraling facial tattoos. And she's standing fairly straight upright. She's wearing what appears to be some sort of tattered uniform, and it's just very ill at ease here, like trying to maintain some sort of discipline, but is obviously does not want to be here necessarily.
I know it's been a tough few months, but I don't know, maybe this is the first step on the path of finding a home.
There are other trainees here.
No, wait. Why are there other people in there? You guys march up the ramp. Javan looks over. Oh, no. Gon, look, I got a lot going on in my mind right now, and I don't need you stepping in here. The old Twi'lek named Gon interrupts. Javan, stand up straight. Have you been thinking about your mother recently, Javan? To which this bronze 6-foot-tall man replies, Mother, no, I don't know at all why you would say something like that. That is completely unfounded conjecture. Just a theory, then. Grand Mistress, what are you doing here? I wasn't expecting to bump into you. Well, I was here about talking to Javan and accepting his new student. What are you doing here? The old Twi'lek kind of steps in front of you. How? Nothing. I'm just swinging by to visit my old student, Javan. That's not against the rules. There is one more group, another pair, walking towards the ship. This one, a tall man with red skin and large red horns that curl up back over his head. He's walking with his hands in his sleeves, his Jedi robes immaculate. And he's conversing with his student, Lyra. You know, Lyra, I think this would be a good idea. There's been some kinks, and that's okay. Everyone's allowed to be an individual, but there are things I'm going to be unable to iron out, and perhaps I was wrong in my thinking I should iron them out at all.
I only used the lightning once.
Well, that's not exactly how I heard it. Once, yes, in the lunchroom, but then again in the hallway, and they do have security cameras in the temple, you know.
Details. It wasn't that bad, and I was provoked.
I have been trying to impart upon you the wisdom of not being provoked. But if one is to be provoked, then one may need a new perspective. And if I not coming at this at the right angle, then I believe Javan might be able to. I've seen him become provoked once or twice.
The old guy with this crappy ship?
Oh, he's not old. He's hardly any older than you. Well, what are you now? He's 20-something. I know that. I think. Well, you can ask him yourself.
Right. Fine. I guess I'll try.
Your Jedi Master Cryax leads you into a small corridor on this junky ship that is shoulder to shoulder with people, all simultaneously talking. Well, what I'm doing with a student here is completely irrelevant. That's not important at all. What you're doing here with a student, though... I am the Grand Mistress, and I can suggest students to show up wherever I want them to, and... Cryax sits at the edge of this conversation, trying to be heard. Hello. Hi. Hey, hi. A voice sounds out above the others. Okay, what the hell is going on? Everybody, Out of my ship. I need to talk to you. Grown-ups only, please. Spore,
See you
can you-
later.
can
Do I
you
count as
keep
an
eye on
adult?
them?
Oh. Fine.
Lyra kind of huffs away.
The Grand Mistress puts a hand on your shoulder. Esla, this is a great opportunity.
Well-
You could harness your abilities, be able to use them all the time with much more clarity. It could be
Well,
a great
that
boon,
sounds
you understand.
Pretty cool, but he said grown-ups only, and I'm only 12, so I'm just gonna go wait over with the rest of the kids that I hear over there.
You waddle to join your compatriots. You hear the pathetic hydraulic pistons trying to close the loading ramp onto the ship. The ship rocks dangerously to and fro when they finally close, and you guys are left alone, and there's no sound of adults arguing outside.
It's finally quiet.
I wonder
Or
if
is
they're
not
trying to ditch
happy.
us. Get rid of us.
I'd want to get rid of you.
Hmm.
I don't blame you, we're pretty useless.
Of note, Strider, whenever you're ready, there is a viewer decision on the table to be made.
The first viewer decision is going to be about the planet. These kids are going to go on a Jedi mission with Javan. And I need to know what kind of planet they're going to. It could be a desert planet. It could be a jungly planet. It could be a small barren moon with no atmosphere. I need the location. No, not the location. I need the type of planetoid that they're going to conduct their mission on. And hopefully this goes better than last season's chat decisions.
And I've sent you a link also on Twitter for the straw poll you could use.
Cool.
Okay. Are we not doing the touchy, screeny, clicky Twitch vote now? We're using straw
Don't
poll?
ask me. I'm only going by what Will Jones told me on Twitter. No.
Ah,
Lava planet, yeah.
Oh. Nothing.
Great.
Mechanics, she can deal with the straw polls if needed. She's so great.
Yeah, let's do it.
I hope they send us to Camino. It's not in the archives.
Oh man, I've been waiting for the memes. Like I'm wondering where. Well,
There's one.
alright.
Mustafar it is.
Oh, cool.
You're gonna come out of this with no legs. left to burn
the
alive.
blackness of space, the abyss, the
The abyss.
the
Ezla, I
lack
have
of
the
a
high
DM,
ground.
That is.
Yoink! The seedier side of a forest planet. Is that like Ewok erotica? What? Technically, that's a
Ewok
forest moon, not a planet.
It doesn't take too long. It's about 10-15 minutes of mostly awkward silence, with a couple of teasing
Everyone
or
it.
self-depreciating remarks. There's the crying whir of the hydraulic pistons again. The ramp does not lower, but rather just falls to the ground with a clang. The ship is slowly pushed back up to be completely horizontal. Javan Brishan walks on his ship again, alone this time. Looks over the crowd of children in front of him and gives an unconvincing smile to the lot of you. Ah, sounds like we're going to be working together.
Lovely.
Cool. And Ezla is purposely just faced the wrong way from everybody else, just like stepping in the opposite direction.
Yes, sir.
He walks over, throws out an arm, grabs Pal by the forearm, yanks her in, pounds a fist on her back. Well, nice to meet you. They said, Mandalorian, huh?
Yes.
Not used to seeing that, but I'm sure you know a thing or more than the average student your age, huh?
Yes. Almost an adult.
No, I don't mean children in a condescending way. Just apologies.
I'm thinking, sir.
No. Jovan. No, sir, master, none of that. Just, you can call me Jovan.
Yes, Javan.
Ezla, the Grand Mistress told me all about you.
Oh. That's cool, I guess. Sup?
I'll be looking forward to working with you.
Alright,
And-
that sounds cool, dude. Like... Yep.
And Lyra and Geo, I've probably seen you around, huh?
Maybe. Probably.
They said you're twins. You both Padawans.
I'm the older
No.
twin, though. That's important. Yeah. We argue
So she
about
claims.
this every time.
I technically came out first.
It's lies, all lies.
Okay.
And she's a Padawan. I haven't chosen my major yet. Still deciding. Undecided. Thank you for the host. Laugh, love, Lindy.
Well, Spore leans over to Javin and is like, "Do we have to feed them too?"
Yeah.
Javan's
I
eyes go
answer.
huge. Oh,
What are we supposed to do with them?
shit. Things eat, don't they? You know I do have the cheese puffs in the pantry.
They can eat those. That's.
They can subsist on cheese, right?
Yeah, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. I'm a doctor. They'll be fine.
Twi'lek can't live off cheese alone.
I'm lactose intolerant.
You'll be fine.
Would you have to?
You'll be fine.
Well,
I like cheese.
welcome to the ship. And there's some empty rooms on the sides there. Don't go into that one. And he points to a huge locked blast door that is scarred from eons of dust, mud, and who knows what else.
Cool.
I'm gonna start the ship, and then we can do a briefing, I suppose. Okay. He awkwardly staggers off towards the cockpit.
It's gotta be the most awkward journey ever. And I tap my way back onto the ship and pick a room.
So I've
where everybody else
placed
does.
I have placed the planet in chat on the VMix call.
Ew.
Cool.
Yeah.
Tremendous. What have they chosen? That is so strange. I can work with
A
it.
moon with a large amount of crystals and caves. Some moons
A
have
moon
oxygen,
with a
like the
large
moon
amount
Endor.
of crystals and caves. I like it. Not what I was imagining.
That's why we
Now
love
I can
chat.
brief you guys. I can brief you all about your mission to a moon with lots of crystals and caves.
Sounds scenic.
Perhaps to your chagrin, the ship starts moving. It lifts up off of the ground, falls a few inches, and then starts puttering forward. Javan will come back in to this main circular room, the only features of which are an old ratty leather couch with about 3 persons' width of seats on it. And this sofa slides to and fro as the ship pitches one way or the other. As you may know, we are rebuilding after the big war. And we're helping any worlds where the Republic and the natives are kind of butting heads. He glances over at Pow. You know all about that, huh?
Depending on what kind of help. She smiles.
You are sassing him, but he seems to love it. He grins from ear to ear, trying to maintain his composure. Well, okay. I've been assigned to a small planet. Well, more of a moon. Really, it's called Ardea. And the Republic has built a grand city of sorts on the surface. But the natives live on the inside of the moon. You see, without proper technology, the surface of the moon, it's too caustic, it's too hot, there's no atmosphere. You can't survive there. But under the surface, there's caves, tunnels, there's plants and funguses that give them air, there's crystals that give them light. And we're going on our way to offer them help. It seems that they have not always seen eye to eye with the Republic. Primarily on the point of the Republic building on the surface of their planet. I'll give you more details once we're there, but that's the main idea. I'm gonna send a lot of you to go meet up with the natives. They're not as technologically advanced, but I'm sure they could use something.
Awfully judgmental in your speech. They're not advanced. They don't like the Republic. Maybe I don't like. I mean, yeah, we'll help.
There's a lot of people, Geo, that do question the judgmental nature of the Jedi, but I think as long as their heart's in the right place and they're trying to do good, that's all that matters.
Kind of drag my feet as I slink about the ship. I'm kind of poking and prodding too. Every now and then I see dials, I just flip them up and down.
The majority of them are not connected to anything or make sparks fly out of the wall.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm contemplating
somehow
what it would take to fix it up. Yeah.
Somehow, as the atmosphere of Coruscant slowly starts drifting by out of the windows, and you guys start seeing stars in the darkness of space, you're not all killed in explosive decompression.
Oh, that's reassuring.
Oh, I was really worried about that.
There's no hyper jump drive on my ship, so like 2 weeks to get there.
We're putt-putting?
2 weeks.
Oh!
That's forever.
Are there enough cheese puffs for 2 weeks?
These children aren't gonna last for 2 weeks.
No, we won't. We'll die. And I kind of throw it back dramatically. And like
You'll die first.
My head tail flops, I'll emo over one of my eyes. Kind of like giggle.
If we eat you, we'll last maybe a week and a half. So maybe
I'm
you can
too
go first.
skinny. You wouldn't
I'm
enjoy
the
me.
scrawniest one. You'll have to eat me last. Oh, that means I'll
You're not
eat
so
all the
scrawny.
ones, but I'm really scrawny.
I think it would be
I can
most
feel how
beneficial.
scrawny I am.
It'd be most beneficial to eat the Twi'lek. I would say you probably got 2 weeks out of that one.
I've done the
Lyra
math.
looks very offended.
Yeah.
Nobody gets to eat my brother.
Yeah, nobody gets to eat her brother.
So what do we do for the next 2 weeks? Just sit here.
What do you normally do?
Game
Sleep.
of Pazak.
Rain check. Pazak in a minute. I personally spend most of my time in the training room. Come on. He waves you guys over to the big locked blast doors.
Oh, there's a training room.
There's a small computer screen in front of the locked doors. He wipes dust away from the keyboard, and the screen eventually flickers to life. He goes through a list. It's just text. Just blue after blue after blue after blue of little names of training programs. He goes all the way to the bottom and clicks on the first one, and the lights on the ship flicker off for a moment. The air vents from the life support systems cut out for a second as the power to this room kicks on. Just for a moment, everything kicks back on, and the big blast doors start to open. There's a small steel room on the inside made out of metal. This one put together immaculately. No wires, no missing panels, nothing. In the far corner, there's sticks, and floating around the ceiling are little orbs, little droids that'll float around and zap you. The absolute bane of any youngling at this academy. Before any of you enter, he hits the screen again. The doors slam shut. And he starts going through his list yet again. That's the training most of you'll be using. Lyra, you've had proper formal lightsaber training, yes?
Yes.
Okay, you can probably start on this one. He clicks on another name, and again all the lights go out. The ship sputters. You lose momentum for a split second. And the blast doors open again. There is dense foliage sticking out of this room. You hear rain hitting leaves. You see vines, leaves, plants, mushrooms, and little yellow eyes staring out of the foliage at you.
Perfect. And she kind of advances.
As Lyra enters the training room, Javan turns to the rest of you. This is my administrative system for all the training programs at the temple. So there's no passwords or rank levels requirements on this one. So just do the ones I tell you to do or you're gonna die. Right?
Okay, then death is not on my to-do list for today, so yeah. No, listen, that sounds good.
Now, I know in one of the cubbies around here, I have some kind of Pazak deck. Or three. Give me 1 minute.
Yeah, I'll go find it. So, Strider, here's what I want to do. I want to try to do this underhandedly. I'm going to do a little Captain Kirk, Kobayashi Maru, if I can. And I want to reprogram these droids to, 1, either zap each other, 2, be easy mode. Like, I want to use hacks. But I want to try to do this underhandedly. I'm not too sure how to do that, but that's my plan.
Javan crawls away from you, poking in little nooks and crannies in his ceiling and his floor, looking for his hidden Pazak decks. And the second he rounds the corner, you go over to the computer screen and start poking around. It seems as long as Lyra is in the room, you cannot turn it off. You cannot change what training program is being run, but you can still get to the source code of the other ones. Use me a use computer use check.
Computer use? All right, let's do this. I'm a little nervous.
If you
since
get
I
another
have been
nat
rolling.
20, you're banned.
Yeah, it's like Monopoly put me in jail. So, plus 4. I did not. I got a 13 though.
13
Above
is not
average.
bad. There is no password on anything, and with a 13, you're going to be able to get in here. You're able to see every single variable has been meticulously laid out. The X, Y, and Z coordinates of every single droid, the exact movement speed that they hover at, the algorithms set up to if they should hit or miss their targets. Everything is available for you to play around with and change at will.
And Lyra's the one training right now?
Yeah. I was assuming you meant the one with the droids on the ceiling, that training program,
Yep.
first one.
Yeah. So, I want her to get better. I've got to rethink this. So if I was Captain Kirking it, I'd make it easier. But I want my sister to be the best, the very best, Pokemon style. And yes, so I might have to crank this up to like 11. But I'm just going to use my judgment. So I'm going to kind of play with it. I'm going to essentially try to just sort of get a feel for the program. Really just kind of zero in on getting a sense for controlling the droids, but kind of wishy-washy, like not really too deliberately making them more difficult or more easier. I'm more just trying to develop proficiency in coding them.
Okay, and at this point with a 13, that's pretty much all you can really get done.
Yeah.
Eventually, you will hear the footfalls of Javan approaching quickly as he jogs in ecstatic. Then he has a little deck of cards. And that is, in fact, how the next 2 weeks go. You have a pantry full of complete trash junk food, mostly cheese puffs, but there's some kind of small, strange animals. There's not frozen microwave burritos that probably should have been frozen. You get the picture. Anything that you could purchase at a gas station.
Oh.
He has plenty of that. The training is slow. The system's default settings are insanely picky. The first training session is stupidly easy. They tell you where the blaster bolts are going to come from, and you put your little training saber that the program gives you in front of your face, and it hits the training saber. And then after about 20 minutes, the program tells you you failed, and it will critique your stance. It'll say how many millimeters apart your fingertips should be on the blade, or on the handle, rather. It will tell you that you're putting 0.05% too much weight on your right foot. And after 2 weeks, you know what? This is D&D. Why not roll some dice? I want to see how good everyone is at training.
How hard is it for Ezla to see the little droids, little pew shooty droids?
They specifically make noises. This particular training program is made for younglings. They blindfold them and then have these things attack them.
Already got that covered.
I refuse to train for combat. I only want to focus on maintaining the droids as well as trying to make myself useful around the ship mechanically. If that's allowed. If they force me to train,
Javan will not force you to train. You can go ahead and roll me some kind of like repair check. The rest of you, just for this new kind of Jedi training, I'm probably going to say just a raw d20.
Got a 16 for repairs.
Ooh.
Someone got a net 20.
Me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I like hop in all confident. I'm like putting everything in the right spot.
I'm a natural 20.
Fantasy Grounds is sponsoring, so we have better dice rolls.
See, look, use Fantasy Grounds. The players will kick ass.
I look kind of over at Ezla and I nod with approval and I'm like, you did good.
Cool. I just keep staring in like the wrong direction. I'm like, thanks. They're pretty
And then
loud.
I go to put up my hand like high five and I like look questioningly like, can she high five?
Ezla, roll me a bluff check really quick.
Okay.
She is.
All right, I have a plus. Not +4. Sweet.
Oh, 13. It's not insight in this one, it's sense motive. Lyra, roll me a sense motive check.
No, that's just straight.
Oh, okay.
And you also get to add your charisma modifier, but that doesn't matter.
Oh, wow.
You look at her, totally hamming up the looking in the wrong direction thing. She's
I'm like,
at least
right.
doing that part on purpose.
I'm like, you know, I can tell you know where I am.
Yeah, you're like right over here.
With your nat 20s, Ezla, you go rocketing through these training missions. With each success, Javan tells you can go on to the next one and the next one, and the progress doesn't really seem to slow down. You're natural. Lyra, this is strange. They're similar to the training modules they run back in the temple, but there's no mechanical whirring as the eyes watch you in the jungle and the foliage. When creatures jump out at you and you slice them, you can feel the warmth of their blood splatter all over your face, stain your clothes, and with each success, the blood disappears, the foliage fades away around you. You leave the room and load up the next training program. But there's something strangely corporeal about all of it. As far as our soldier is concerned, perhaps a little frustrated at Ezla's fast progress, and perhaps a little overconfidence. As you run in, do each trial perfectly, not a toe out of line, never being hit by any kind of droid, any kind of fire, always being able to disarm, grab your weapons, do whatever you need to. But the machine will still tell you that you failed. Your breathing was too excited. Your pinkies were too far apart on the hilt of your blaster rifle. And the machine wants you to keep repeating the first 2 or 3 training missions again and again and again.
Oh, and then just after a while, Pal just frustratedly throws whatever the implement, whatever the stick, and just like, I've had enough with this. This is just doing this over and over. I know what I'm doing. Can I stop now?
Spore, you can play along with the kids if you want to, and run these training programs.
Oh, so I need to roll to see how I do as well?
If you're going to participate, yeah.
Spore just has a blaster gun, so blaster pistol.
Your aim with the blaster pistol is dead on as always. The actual stick combat, it's a little slow, extremely inefficient. And even if you did completely master all these training techniques, it would never be quite as far-reaching or as quick as your blaster. But you do well, at least better than the Mandalorian.
Well,
You're a few.
I am a doctor, not a Jedi, so.
Damn it,
Sorry.
I'm a doctor.
We gotta
Yeah, I
avoid
know.
these Star Trek jokes, but they're attempted.
Avoid or encourage.
Both, yes.
Grant, Giovanni doesn't train. He pokes around the ship, sees what he can repair. What did you say? There's anything specific you're gonna do?
I've mostly been trying to acclimate to during this time to programming the droids, and I've really been trying to play up around meal times that I would never. The reason I don't do the training is my skills are so great, I'm beyond it, and I'm hoping finally they're going to force me to do the training. But I've set the droids to be like super easy by then, and like I blow them all away.
You know what?
But I'm
With your
trying to-
16, you can make little tweaks. Even the Zabrak gets past a few training modules, and certainly no one's going to go back and do those other ones. You can get in there and poke around. I'll let you roll once Javan finally does insist that anyone on the Battle Master ship does have to kind of learn how to battle.
Yeah.
You can roll me a d20 with advantage, since you're cheating.
All right, let's do this.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see.
So roll.
All those
I don't
20s.
even think I'm good at this. Roll. Let's make sure I do this right. And then one. Oops. I put in the wrong command. I apologize.
You can just throw in a 2d20 if you want.
Yeah, you're right. I could do that, but I've gotten so used. So with
Oh,
advantage,
boy.
I got it.
That's-
I'm like, all right, I'll do it. Finger guns. I'm like spinning in circles. Die! Like
Lyra's like,
crisscross,
oh.
cowboying it, and it. The droids are moving like so slow and pathetic. I'm just like, no. And then finally, I imagine like they all start zapping me and surround me. I'm like twitching on the ground. No, get them off. Get them off.
You can all tell quite easily the official diagnosis here is not physical ability, because Giovanni didn't actually try. He didn't try to learn what the lesson was actually trying to teach him. He was just trying to show off or ham it up or be silly or make you guys laugh something. Who knows?
You look like you're doing great in there.
Yes, as the blind girl.
Just try to be sportive.
It's all right. Go on, laugh. One day.
Are you not doing well? I was just guessing.
I'm doing great, Esla.
All right,
Perhaps
cool.
it-
Keep it up.
Perhaps it'd be easier if you played dead
oh.
or scream louder.
You guys are just standing in the open doorway of the blast doors yelling all this in at him.
Yeah.
Man, chat's gonna kill me. I'm sorry, chat. I apologize.
As 2 weeks slowly drag by, you all approach the moon planet known as Ardea. And Javan will call you all together again. If the training is to be believed, then perhaps Esla and Lyra, you could kind of take point, if you catch my meaning. Be
Pardon?
good role models.
Oh.
I'd love to. I'm excited.
Good,
Excuse
good.
Then I
me,
can't-
sir. Shouldn't I be leading the children? Wouldn't that be the more logical conclusion here?
No, you want to go with them?
Oh no! I didn't know that was an option. No! I'll stay here. That's fine.
I didn't know you grew. I didn't know you had the ability to be sentimental.
No! I don't. That's broken. That chip's broken. It's just not working.
No, you.
Mm-mm.
Well, okay, fine. Esla, Lyra, you are still in charge, but you're co-in charge with Sporden.
Cool.
I love droids.
Mm. Mm-mm.
You're
As
a weird droid.
You're a weird humanoid.
Yeah.
As the planetoid grows closer, Javan will reiterate his earlier points. Now, we're just here to offer them help. If they don't need anything, we don't need to give them anything. But, there are some concerns of them, how friendly they are with the surface-dwelling peoples. So, just embody the Jedi Code and don't fall prey to provocation, please.
I kind of glare.
Don't be provocative. Got it. Let's go.
I like
Leave
kind
it
of like
alone.
skulk as I leave. I'm like,
I glare at Javan as I leave.
As you guys come to land in, you're landing in a small hangar. The actual city seems to spread over at least half of the moon, if not the entire thing. This Republic City, built on the surface, it's a series of domes, tubes. All of it seemed to be sheltering people from the ultraviolet radiation of the nearby sun. The actual surface of the moon is still barren. You guys fly in through a small window that is opened in a bubble like dome. It closes up behind you, and the ship finally puts its way to landing. In these outer rim planets, they have certain checkpoints you have to go through. There's a loud beeping noise and little lights flashing in the ceiling. Oh,
Like a weapons check or something?
no, that's a missed call. I have
Oh.
the little beeping starts happening again. We don't have service when we're out in space, so the beeping happens again, and the beeping starts overlapping themselves.
Sounds like you're popular.
How about you kids, go see what there is to see? The beeping,
Right.
almost deafening now. You go see what there is to see, and He just gets frustrated, bares his teeth, and spins around, runs to the cockpit.
all right. And I kind of grab Esla's hand. I'm like, let's go.
Okay, I'm missing my seeing eye Bothan, so, I guess we're gonna have to buddy up.
Works for me.
Alright, cool.
That's the funniest damn joke.
Wild magic surge for Spore, by the way.
Oh.
Ew! Do one of you have that list? Can we bring that up in Twitch chat? I do want to see.
Yes.
Oh, maybe.
Spore, if you have your dice rolling commands down for Fantasy Grounds, that is slash
got the
die
list.
space 1D100000.
Oh my god. Okay, how many zeros was that?
10,000.
1,000.
You're rolling a
Ah,
10,000 sided die.
Right.
2385.
Oh.
Let's see, it is. Da 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 da. If I can find
Probably like
it.
This is
There
the
we
Final
go.
Fantasy.
and we're in Star Wars.
Glasses.
Star Wars stream.
All right. Caster's spellbook is sheathed in flame but doesn't burn.
So she's a droid.
We-
So how does this look like in the fiction of the
Yeah.
world? Like her body,
Yeah.
her whole body. She's sheathed in flame now.
Yeah.
Oh, please don't burn off my fungus.
Oh no.
The fungus is definitely reacting violently to the artificial atmosphere they put here on the planet. As you guys walk down the loading ramp and you make contact to the floor within this strange bubble, the air smells nice to those of you with olfactory senses, and it doesn't behave well with the mushrooms. They don't burn, they don't fizzle away, they're still there, but as long as you're in this little dome, it seems they're going to be wreathed in a strange greenish, purplish fire.
Are you gonna
this
be
is
okay,
fine.
Spore?
I mean,
Perhaps.
just don't touch me, which is fine. Just don't touch me.
Maybe stay
I
away
don't
from the
wanna
droid
touch
for the
your-
time being.
Your burny
This
mushrooms.
is working out in my favor. That's fine.
It's just not illegal at all. This flaming droid.
Just like
Art.
this droid's on fire.
We're
trying
on
to be
the
like,
rim,
You
it's
need
cool."
assistance.
Can I try to put the flames out? I'm proficient in repairing and dealing with droids. Maybe fire extinguisher. Maybe.
Oh my god.
You
wanna
go
work on
ahead
Want me to
and
smack
you.
you?
Look. You can, and I'll take the damage, but I'll save your life.
I say to Giovanni, that droid has a blaster. I wouldn't agitate it.
Oh, shut up, you. I'm like super rude. 18 to try to get the flames off of her.
You are covered in flame retardant, fire extinguishing foam.
Stop, drop, and roll. And I imagine like I
heard that works.
It's like almost a tuba-sized projector, just really Wonka. Yeah.
The actual hangar in here seems to be empty. All the other landing pads have no one on them. Every landing pad kind of funnels all to one doorway in which sits a human woman at a desk, and she doesn't look entertained watching you spray your droid with a tuba full of fire extinguishing chemicals. As the fire is not actually coming from the droid, and 18 is not enough to put it out. This is some kind of strange biochemical reaction. And you don't know enough with an 18 to extinguish a biochemical reaction.
Yeah, I kind of go and like apologize to Pal too, and I'm like, hey, look, I'm sorry for like my harsh language back there. Like, I don't know what to do with all these feelings, and I'm like teenage boying it and kind of like run away stupidly.
I ignore him actively.
I tried.
Shouldn't you be apologizing to me? And I'm just like covered in fire and disgusting flame retardant.
You have a
Yeah, but you're a droid, not a person.
You can shoot him with the stun setting.
Oh,
He won't die.
I like
The
you.
fungus is more a person than you. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna get killed by the party. I'm so sorry, Chad. I'm so sorry, Will. He was like, no, we banned Grant from Encounter Roleplay for a reason.
I think you're right. You're good to keep around. I mean, you always need.
I'm sorry, Cuda.
At least keep him around. As we said, he's at least 2 weeks worth of food.
Yes. We need to keep this in mind. You need to eat, and he is awful.
Yeah, we
It's a
can't
logical
sell anyone.
conclusion.
Well, it's a good thing that Javin said it wasn't to be subtle here or keep a low profile, because we are certainly not doing that.
You
On
are certainly
fire.
not. And the human woman looks completely exasperated as you all approach. She doesn't even say anything. She just lifts up an arm and points to the doorway behind her. One at a time.
Mm-hmm. I'll walk through.
Who goes in first?
I'll go.
And Pow, you walk in first. There's another small room, a desk, a man, this woman wearing uniforms, obviously some kind of Republic officials. The right side of this room is full of iron bars from floor to ceiling. And inside this cage are creatures. They stand about 4.5 feet off the ground. They walk on all fours. They're very canine in appearance, except for their faces. They have no eyes. They have no nose. It just moves forward into a big conglomeration of wriggling tentacles.
Okay.
They have 10 to 12 independent little digits flopping about, and a sickly green skin with no fur. They hop up on the iron bars, making no audible noises when you enter. The man motions to a small circle on the ground. You done this before, kid?
Yes. I just walk toward the thing, toward the circle.
You stand in the circle, and a small doorway opens up in the iron cage. The beasts run forth, and soon you have tentacles rubbing all over you. They jump up on their hind legs, and there's a sickly sweet smell to these things. And maybe it's saliva, or maybe it's something else. It's a little more viscous, like a honey, left on your face after the tentacles go up, down, prod at your nose. But after about 30 seconds, they all drop to the ground, walk back inside the cage. You are left not dripping, but covered in a yellowish goo.
Okay.
And the man goes, all right, you're clean. You can go in.
All right. These things are hideous, right? These little
Absolutely.
like, dog things. Oh,
Disgusting.
I smile and just realize that no one knows what's coming, and I just walk out the door.
Who goes next?
I will.
Lyra, it is the same exact thing. The guy asks if you know what you're doing, and you should stand in that circle.
I kind of strut into the circle.
The strange beasts are on you in a matter of seconds. They are running up your legs, around your knees, prodding at your nose and at your ears.
One like prods really hard, and I'm like, oh, at least buy me dinner first or something.
The man at the desk rolls his eyes. Haven't heard that one before.
I try to be witty, but I'm only 15.
They stop. I try to be witty, but I'm only 15.
I use that same excuse every day.
The beasts drop down and go back into their cage, and he goes, okay, you're not sick. You can go ahead.
Okay. And I kind of like hop and run out.
Who next?
I'll go next. I'm on fire.
You okay?
Do you put your hand up too?
Do not be alarmed. I'm having some strange reaction to the environment. It's nothing. Sorry.
Droids are fine. They can't get infections. You can go ahead.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Just proceed.
All right, Giovanni.
As you're leaving, you can hear him back at his desk under his breath, whispering to himself, "What the hell is going on today?"
Ladies first. Ladies first.
Ladies first. All right. Tap 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 my way up. My cane.
You're getting canine-like life signs. Some kind of living, breathing creature. To your
Oh,
right.
are there puppies in here?
And this man's midichlorians sitting at the desk, he has such a low rating that he is just a silhouette to you.
Excuse me.
Oh no. Okay, apparently this is happening. Little girl, have you done this before?
I have no idea what I'm doing.
Do you have a mommy or a daddy?
I'm with the droid. It adopted me. It's cool.
The one on fire?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't happen all the time. But I smelled something burning, and, I just assumed. Is it really bad? Is there, like, a lot of fire?
Yes.
Alright, I'll make sure that my droid mom gets it checked out, alright?
Droid mom, that's...
Yep. Adopted.
Adopted? I think I need to call someone.
No, it's cool, it's cool.
I think they have services for people like you.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm with the droid right now. I totally went through all the service stuff.
I'm
There's like a kid overpopulation right now. They're doing what they can.
Spore
You
pokes
can
his head
either-
back in, and he's like, I feed them lots of cheese puffs. They're fine.
See?
they. There are more of you.
He's already
That's why
popped back out.
you can roll me a bluff check, or you can roll me an affect mind check, or whatever it is you want to roll me.
Let's see. Let's look at those scores there. Affect mind. We're gonna use a bluff check. A 10.
Giovanni, it's taking an especially long time for you to get in there.
I'm okay with that.
Do you know who that is? Or you're all together, right, with the flaming droid?
Yep. It's our foster mom.
You know what? They don't pay me to report things to child services. You can stand in that little circle right there, because that's what I'm getting paid for.
Right where?
He will place his hands on your shoulders and kind of lead you over. Stop!
right.
No, stop! Stop walking! Stop!
Right here.
No, 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 no,
I
don't
smell a
step,
dog.
step.
All right. Is there dogs in here? Like,
You could say that.
all right. I bet they're real cute.
Hold your breath.
Wait, why?
And you experience the same exact treatment everyone else has, being funneled into this planet.
Nice dogs you have here. Tap away. Real friendly.
The sweet but kind of sick-smelling tendrils leave you alone soon enough, and they return to their cages. At least all of you are clean. Please go.
Do shower. Tap.
Wait, hold on. He stands up and grabs your shoulders again, tries to direct you towards the door.
Oh, thanks.
Droid!
Am I able to just walk in at this point?
Yeah.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm walking in and I'm asking him why he's taking so long with my specially abled sister and why he's touching her and how he's not supposed to do that. And can I make a bluff check?
You can.
All right. Not great, 11.
That's
They're not
the
really
we
friendly
used your
here.
points early.
Child. Pedophile.
He lets go of Eslin, spins around on his heels immediately. She's blind. She needs to find the exit. Only one person in here at a time.
She's faking.
Already gone. Bye.
I like kind of grab her and then like yank her towards me. I'm like, come on.
Stand.
Man, the guy just wouldn't put me in the whatever circle or whatever. Took forever. So many
In
questions.
the circle, please.
Out.
You have, Giovanni, the same exact experience as everyone else. Dogs,
Okay, I
tendrils,
appreciate
snuffling
it,
noises
yes.
in your ear.
Free body massage. I'm all for this. All right.
They leave you alone. There's no more of you, right?
I just kind of look at him, and I stare. I stare, like 1,000 miles. Stare, and then I just leave without saying anything.
You can hear him back at his desk. What did I do? What did I do to get these people today? Why am I on the clock? What did I do to deserve this?
Gonna go home and rethink
You-
my life. I told you. It's gonna
You
happen.
guys are on a sidewalk out front of a large building. There's bustling streets in front of you. The people here seem to be putting a whole lot of faith into the protective plastic glass, whatever it is, canopies up ahead, or overhead, rather, because they are wearing fancy clothes. They have no air systems, respiratory bags, and it's hundreds and hundreds of feet looming overhead before... there's tons of open air in here. It's not claustrophobic by any means. The streets are all lined with planter boxes, little trees growing out, and troughs of water running through them as well. The main colors, there's a lot of gold in the construction here. The planter boxes, the trim on the buildings, almost everything is some kind of yellow. You guys find yourself standing on this side of the street in front of the check station and the landing bays. And across the street, there is a pub called the Broken Bot. Besides that, you have an entire metropolis the size of a small planet ahead of you.
Droid Mom, where should we go?
Droid Mom.
Excuse me. I am not your mother.
You're our father.
I'm not that either.
You're supposed to find a name.
I am
Droid
now
is
research
adult.
droid SPO designation R3, and I am here to assist you with any of your medical emergencies and not be your parent.
Child abandonment is categorically a medical emergency.
That's
Ugh.
It is.
I just give him some cheese poofs. Like, here, just take that.
I fill up both cheeks.
Are they flaming cheese poofs?
Well, Spore was carrying them.
Giovanna's
Spore's on
are.
fire.
We
It
now
might be a
have
little
flaming
burnt,
Cheetos.
but it's fine.
All right,
Let's
so you
find
like a whole
natives.
city to explore, right?
I
Where do we wanna
take
go
Ezla's
first?
hand and say, look, it's very crowded, there's a lot of people, and you're going to need some help getting around.
All right. Want to go to a bar?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, I could use a drink right about now.
All right,
Usually a
let's
lot
go.
of people
Yes,
need
I
help.
have-
No.
Spent
You
time at
guys are the
dreadful
best
shit.
Padawans.
A bunch of Gavin finds a bunch of drunken children. I ask Lyra if she'll take my other hand. And, like,
Don't
we
worry,
kind of
guys.
go
I'll get the first
random.
round.
No, no, no,
I mean, we
no,
could-
no.
If we wanted to get high, we could just huff whatever's burning off the robot.
No, don't do that
Inches
either.
closer.
No. I'm sure that is not healthy. Let's not do that. Why don't we go not to the bar and see what we can find?
How about we go to the pub? Because there's food there that's not cheese puffs.
The cheese puffs are fine. You're getting the right amount of nutrients.
I'm so
Trust me, I'm a
tired
doctor.
of cheese puffs.
You give her a little bit of alcohol, maybe she'll quiet down.
No, no.
I mean,
I
we
thought
could
you were
always
the
find
good one.
I
information.
whispered to Giovanna, I'm like, quick, let's sneak away while Spore's arguing with Pal. Let's go to the bar.
I hope.
You two can
I
roll
hope-
move silently checks.
I hope
no,
Spore has money.
Board does not
Ezla's. I've got her hand in hand, and I'm not letting her sneak
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, I was like, let's go. And if he's not moving, I'm like, fine.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure her out because I'm not sold that she's blind at all.
I kind of lean over. I'm like, she's not.
Throw a rock.
No, like I
You
don't
throw a rock,
like,
I let it hit.
No, she's Jedi
Ow!
trained. She's
Where did
Jedi
that
trained.
come from?
She's clearly Jedi trained, and she's done pretty well at certain tasks. But I'm also a little suspicious of her motives. I mean, what is she really all about? She seems kind of shifty.
Well, Spore's trying to find if he has any sort of rope or access to any sort of rope so he can, like, kind of put child leashes on them. But
I have rope.
he's not finding anything.
How about we
Oh,
at
you
least
have
get
rope?
food?
Turbo lasso.
You just see a droid walking around with like 4 leashes.
Bunch of leashes. Padawans for sale. Padawans for sale. Ringing a bell.
Oh God.
I ask Lyra if she'll take my left hand, and we kind of go in tandem together. Just because I have a feeling Lyra won't let me get in trouble, but I have a feeling if I stay with Ezla, we're gonna end up getting in trouble. So I'm a follower, not a leader.
I take his hand and I say, "Where to, G?"
I think we should let our mother robot decide. And I look at Spore, who identifies as he, and I go, "Hey, Spore. You've noticed I don't do a very good job paying attention. It's sorry, it's condition I have. Can you refresh me what Javin wanted us to accomplish down here?
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. That was up to you. You're the Padawan.
Totally said to
I'm
go
not a
explore
Padawan,
and
I'm
have fun.
He said he wanted us.
Calling out for Pal. Pal.
He wanted us to find the natives and help them if they wanted help. I don't think the natives are in the city.
All
right, let's go
well,
find the
at least
indigenous
get some
persons.
food on the way out. Yeah? How about food? That's
You
not
guys,
cheese sauce.
I will let
Do we
you
have money?
get food and ask around about the natives at the same time, if that's what you want, with a gather information check, I think.
Is there we'll see what I can do gathering
I'll try to
information.
soften up some of the strangers. Be like, excuse me, kind sir, ma'am. Have you seen the natives? We're looking for them. We're lost.
I would have fashioned
I don't know
signage
where
on
I'm going.
I would have fashioned signage on a data pad of sorts that just says, "Tell me about the natives," and hold it up as high as I can. I'm pretty tall.
And I mean,
but,
you guys are all
I'll gather
asking,
information.
and this flaming droid is standing behind you at all times, just on fire.
I got a 14 to gather information.
Anyone that
My
wants
dad
to
approved.
roll can.
Yeah, I'll
Help
try.
out,
I'm gonna
too.
try to get the pity, because
Yeah,
that's
I'll
what it's
Gather
about.
information.
Oh.
Okay, let's... Got it.
14 as well.
I got 18, because I don't have any points in that.
Well,
I have 8.
Okay.
I have 0.
I don't know
Oh, great.
anything.
I don't talk to people.
Let's see. The highest was Spore, I think, with an 18. You guys can get your food over at the Broken Bot across the street. They are a tiny, greasy spoon pub. In the most literal way, they serve mostly grease and gravy. But the kids seem ecstatic enough. You don't need to eat if you don't want to.
Yes.
I'm good.
You can see the Broken Bot, for which the club gets its name, standing over in the corner holding a platter, not of plates or food, just gathering dust with random knickknacks. There's some hats placed on its head. There's some graffiti drawn on its face, on its chassis, all around it. The only thing of note about the Broken Bot is it's about 6'8".
Oh,
And-
this is as tall as me.
Almost feline in appearance.
Oh no. Oh no.
I am very taken aback by this, as I just look really closely.
You were examining the Broken Bot, and the kids are chowing down on their gravy, when a woman working behind the counter, she has green skin and big black eyes that take up almost her entire face, kind of buzzes at you. What are you doing? You're not supposed to move. You're... Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. You're not... Uncanny.
Yes, where did you get this droid?
He was here in the corner when they bought the place, and they couldn't move him, so they named it after the droid in the corner. The
Smart
Broken Bot.
tactic.
Is it all right if I examine this droid further?
She's keeping 2 large eyes on you, but you can if you want to.
Yeah, I want to see if I can, like, I guess, not really break him further, but try to pick at whatever I can find. I don't know if there's any particular check for that.
Cause of malfunction.
Yeah.
You could roll some kind of repair, robot knowledge. I'd let you run perception, intelligence. Perception's not in this one. That's spot.
Yeah.
Can I assist? I'm pretty handy with the droids.
Yeah, your attention is drawn when you realize you've seen now 2 of these in one. 2 of these in a span of 2 weeks, and before your entire life, you've never seen one of these.
Okay. I got a 13 as well.
Yeah, if it's spot, it's just a flat 13 for me.
I got a 13 using my droid knowledge.
You look all over this thing, trying to find signs of damage or wear and tear, why it's not working. There's no power switch to turn it on. There's no power source to be depleted. In fact, it's almost exactly the same as Spore here, just this one's covered in graffiti and dust instead of mushrooms. It looks pretty old. That's all the more you can find out about it.
I can't see any, like, markings or numbering on it to see if it's, like, an older model of what I am or anything like that.
No model name, no name of where it was made, no markings or insignias anywhere whatsoever, just like on your own body.
This is concerning. Children, please hurry so we can leave.
Be in this grease as fast as I can.
Sorry.
As far as the 18s on the gather information check, it seems that the natives you're talking about, and 18's pretty good. There's 2 kinds of natives here on Ardea. The good ones and the feral ones. The good ones get respectable jobs and wear fancy clothing here in the city. And the feral ones still live in their original towns out in the tunnels on the moon. And the only way to get to them is to walk.
Let's go find these feral ones. They sound like fun.
Tunnels.
Oh. Seems like one needs help.
You've got some grease on your chin.
Do I?
Yeah,
Can't really.
kinda,
Is it like,
you know, just over to the. There you go.
There we go. Kill. Did I get it? Is it all gone?
Yeah, it's good.
Alright, cool.
Good enough.
From gathering this information about the types of citizens, am I able to discern which ones might need the most medical attention? Because that's probably what I would care about.
It seems as though the Ardeans, they're called, living here, are fine. They have access to hospitals, to droids. In fact, they're really completely no different than anyone else. The only way you can tell the difference, and perhaps if you're walking around outside and trying to pull people aside, you might bump into 1 or 2. They're almost Zabrak in their build. They're very, very humanoid. They have lumpy heads, though. Little horns grow out. Sometimes just little dots around the forehead. Sometimes the entire head will be shaped funny. The skin will split. And all of the little horns that come out of these people are little tiny glimmering crystals, like you've heard exist in the center of the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I look around at all the children and I'm like, well, they don't appear to need medical assistance, so I think we're fine and we can leave and everybody's okay. So, are you done?
I feel like we should go look for those feral ones. Those sound like a good time, right there.
Yeah. They need the
yeah.
help.
I overheard the talk about sickness or something like that in the checkpoint, right?
Mhm.
Thickness.
Can I ask around of what the nature of that was? What are they checking for?
Yeah, you can either roll a knowledge lore check, or you can roll a gather information to see if you know it or if you can find out about it.
All right, 20 minus 1. Let's see. Cool. No, 7. No one knows. I'm just really rude.
Which
I'm
one
really
was
rude
that
to
for?
them.
Was that for the knowledge or was that for the gathering the information?
Gather information.
Roll me an intelligence to see if you can figure it out on your own.
Okay. Intelligence. That is. Cool. 1 + 1. That show up? No, there we go. 11.
11. You did hear the word infection. It seems like the advanced security is probably trying to stop either some kind of infection sickness from coming in or from coming in and going out. But that's all you can gather.
I mean, we have a medical droid, so that's okay, I guess. I have nothing. Well, which one do we want to go to? Do we want to go to the feral ones or the ones in the city?
You know, with the
yeah.
I was just going to say with the 18, since that was a pretty high roll, I can also tell you that you need to be pretty well equipped to walk on the surface of the moon. It is extremely hot, extremely cold, and there's no oxygen. And for whatever reason, the little shops run by Ardeans around the town that sell this kind of equipment that you can get in and out with, they also demand that you bring absolutely no food, no water whatsoever.
Guess we gotta dump the cheese puffs.
Yeah,
Oh,
dump the
well.
cheese puffs.
Kitty.
I refuse.
Just eat them all.
Yes.
Got a lot of
Oh.
cheese like around his mouth.
Oh.
I just ate like a bucket of grease, so I think I'll be fine for a day or two.
The schlop.
Are you?
That is the
how-
official canon name, the Schlop.
The schlop.
Are you
Good
sharing
slop
this
right there.
information with us, Pow?
Yes. Yeah, she would share it. She would definitely share it.
And that's information you guys have all pieced together and
Okay.
are all aware of now.
Sport, do you have any idea what kind of infections could be prevalent in this type of world?
I'm not sure. What would I roll for that to know?
I know how we could find out. Just go lick everybody. If you get sick and die, well,
Please don't lick people. Please don't lick random strangers.
Oh no.
This is why you're droid mom. You have to tell us not to lick random strangers.
What about people we know?
Don't
Yeah,
lick
is
them
that
either.
cool?
Just don't lick anybody.
what? Giovanni and I can't lick each other?
Oh,
No.
we don't have to have any the cheese puffs. We
A
can
little
have
head tails kind of
mushrooms.
prick up again and twitch.
No licking allowed. Now let me think for a moment. Silence,
You're
please.
so not cool, droid mom.
No,
So,
like
can we just do like a wisdom check or something
Intelligence.
like that? Intelligence? Okay. So that is +2, so 18.
You are the master of infectious diseases after the last 200 years of research. And the one that you've seen spreading to your previous master and to even more people now, it tends to be pretty prevalent on Coruscant. Like, quite a few people are infected with that one. And not too many people here are. So the logical conclusion, of course, being that's what they're looking for.
So the same thing I'm familiar with. possibly?
Not that you're familiar with it, but yeah. The one that's been very elusive.
Now, children, I am a very intelligent droid, but this is something I am not 100%
How smart are you?
knowledgeable on. Smarter than you. Smarter
I
than
don't know
What was
about
your
that.
test score?
Sorry?
What was your test score?
Higher than yours. And I don't need to listen to you. Your midichlorian level is very low. I'm just not
That's
interested.
not true.
You're a droid. You don't
I
have
like-
midichlorians.
Excuse you. I have a chip that reads midichlorian levels. And as I
You know,
told you when I met
technically-
you, yours is abysmally low.
What's my
You-
level?
I guess technically, if the
Average.
force penetrates, binds, and is like within everything, maybe you are like midichlorian.
Sure,
Nice,
whatever.
Jade.
Anyways,
The hell's midichlorian?
it sounds like
I don't know if I wanted to know what my level was.
There's a poor excuse
Don't.
by George Lucas to try to explain something that
Oh, no,
was a
I-
little more.
Oh no, that's in character. He doesn't know.
Yeah.
No, so what's
He doesn't know about that.
Anyways, children, it sounds like we need to go to the shops and get you some gear to walk on the surface. Is that correct?
Woo!
I should be fine, I assume.
Oh.
You know what they say about assuming.
That it works out fine when I assume, because I'm smarter than you.
You're so mean, droid mom.
Well, you
Mm.
survived being on fire, so I'm inclined to believe
I'm
you.
still on
Yeah, pretty
fire.
Pretty sure it's not healthy. Sounding.
So I guess
How are
we
you guys
go-
going to pay for your equipment that you want to purchase?
I have a
Hey, Droid Mom!
ton of money. I have 3,500
Yeah.
credits.
Did
You
Javin
gonna
give
buy
me
us
any
all-
money?
Space gear.
How do you have that much money?
What's it cost to outfit the team? I'm like the rich kid that's trying to impress everybody.
5,000 credits.
No, it won't. And I try to barter it down. I'm
much?
playing up the character. Look, it'd be 5,000 if we were on Coruscant, but out here in this bumpkin, crystal cave covered moon, with feral, infected, indigenous persons. Look, no. 2,500, and that's being generous. Okay, pumpkin.
Could I
This is
also
gonna-
help by being like, Lyra's not always the nicest when it comes to using the Force for just purely non-selfish reasons. Could she be like, you want to sell it to us for cheaper and use her effect mind?
I'm going to have Giovanni roll some kind of charisma check first,
Yeah.
and then
Okay.
see if you're needed.
Okay.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. So it's going to be roughly the same. Like, I have great skills, I just haven't rolled great. 16.
With a 16, that is plenty. And the man will begrudgingly, well, at least 4,000, or 3, or... Fine.
I can do 3.
No one buys this
I'll
stuff
do
anyway.
3. Well, yeah.
Yeah,
wait,
yes. Definitely 3.
2,500. I meant 3. There's
Said 3.
more than 3 of us. Yeah. Look, I wasn't
Lyra,
talking
you can
about
go
the
ahead and roll
Younglings,
your
I was counting
effect
them.
mind.
What?
You wanted to roll an effect mind?
Oh my god.
Are we deciding my assistance is needed? Oh no.
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 We're screwed. Elle, you messed it up for us.
2 nat ones in a row.
Even with my modifier, that would just be abysmal.
Alright.
The price goes up.
He gets angry. You're trying to pry into his mind, but it's not as cut and dry as that. He feeds off of your emotions when you try to affect someone's mind. You're just forcing empathy onto them, make them feel what you feel. And For whatever reason, today you have a little bit of pent-up frustration, and you can see it leach over onto this man's face. The Ardeans have taken enough discounts with your people and you Republic types. You can pay full price.
All right, you know
I'm
what?
so
That's
sorry.
cool. That's cool. Here, I got this, guys, and I'll pay the 5,000 credits.
He looks skeptical, but the money is money, so he will take it right away. And you guys are equipped with what look more like Jedi robes. They're very cloth-like, with big glass bubbles around the faces. He emphasizes it's very, very important that you don't tear any holes in that, and that it's completely airtight when you walk out there.
What happens if? Oh, space. Right. Got it. Can I actually get an extra one just in case?
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Okay.
Does this make Spore's eyes just ridiculous size?
Is Spore
The
gonna put one
glass.
on?
Oh no, you're not putting one on.
Spore has to think for a minute as to if he would require one or not. I might as well get one just in case.
I just want the visual of you, like big round eyes and a bulb.
Yes, let's.
Yeah, it's like a big
Let's go
fish
for
bowl,
that.
and
Fish
all
bowl.
you
Cat
see
fish
is
bowl.
just these giant yellow.
Lyra like looks up.
Well
Ah.
On fire. Still on fire, I assume, so it's fine.
Yeah, I like ice cream cone up my head tails. Slightly.
Yeah, how do ours fit? Like, what do we?
We do. We gotta wrap them up, and don't forget, you and I can communicate through our head tails using a secret language that no one else can hear or understand.
Unless they're another Twi'lek.
That's true.
Yeah, there's some other like head tail like snaking over.
Hey.
That's actually what it looks like when we do this.
Hello.
You guys are equipped, and if you want to start your truck out onto the surface of the moon, you can. Is that what you're up to?
Giant steps we take, walking on the
Let's
moon.
go.
I go, wait, guys, wait. And then I look very sternly at Spore and I say, drop the puffs.
Oh yeah, we can't take food, drink.
Oh yeah, he just starts pulling them out of every orifice. Like, I guess you'll starve. It's fine. Just throwing them on the floor.
I should have eaten at the Gracie Spoon. Grace will fills you up.
Does everyone completely get rid of everything? Food and water related.
I'll chug whatever water and liquids are left. I'll have to pee in 5 minutes, but I'll be hydrated.
I'm gonna roll a d20. If I roll a 15 or higher, my roguish instincts get the best of me, and I'm keeping a cheese puff and a little flask of water.
A cheese puff.
I'm not.
A single puff.
Yeah.
You decide not to keep the single puff.
No.
A small
Chow
tear
down.
trickles down. You see the puff fall out of his.
Singing a little song. Good night, my puff. I'll
Just
see
eat the rats. We should just eat the rats around their ship.
Should have. Protein.
And they're still there. They just
Alright,
live off the
so-
cheese puffs too.
Come, children, let us away. Get this
said we're
figured out.
There are
Yes, I
Care about
airlocks.
Mom.
The airlocks are manned by Republic officials. Again, this one large, hairy creature, most of you would probably identify as a Wookiee, standing there ready to pull levers. You step inside, the doorway behind you closes. There's decompression. The doorway to the surface of the moon opens. As soon as there's decompression, the fire on Spore goes out, and Spore gonna put on his little outfit, which I'm gonna roll a d20. And with an 18, they see strange aliens on the outer rim all the time, and they had something that kind of fits your 6'8" body.
Yay.
Weird.
Convenient.
As
There's
the
Wookiees
trek
here.
onto the surface of the moon is going to start, I need two things. First, someone tell me where the hell you guys are going, and second off, fortitude saves from everyone who's going to walk out there.
All right, I have
Oh,
I
6.
think I'm pretty good at those. I am.
I have
I'm
no
terrible.
idea.
I'm abysmal.
I get plus
Please
3
don't hurt
though.
me.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh
okay,
my-
that's not my
no.
worst one.
Oh no.
Mine's a
Yeah, I have a-
17.
Well,
Cool.
Plus 0 to that, so.
Woo! 19.
I got a 2. It's not showing up, I don't think, but it's definitely sitting on my screen, and it says 2. I can roll again, though.
Yeah, try rolling again, I guess.
It's not
It's just
showing
sitting
up.
there.
This
There
one
we go.
showed up.
Still bad. Still not great.
With a 9, Spore's the only one having a hard time. It's hard to quite place the noise at first until you guys look back. Spore is at the very end of the group, and there's a weird mechanical wheezing as Spore is completely out of breath. There's a slumped posture. There's hands dragging along the ground at Spore's sides, and Spore, you feel crazy overheated. It's like at least 130 degrees under these robes.
Oh no. Do I feel like I probably would want to try and take them off? Does anybody notice that I am struggling?
Didn't we all look back?
I guess I
Yeah,
probably
you
would.
guys notice Spore's falling behind.
It was
Jeez.
described to us. I'm going back, and I'm gonna kind of get behind Spore and try to help Spore force march and be like, "There, robot mom, we got you."
And I don't know how much longer I can last. How much further do we have to go?
Look, it's the children's job to complain, and your job to tell us we'll get there when we get there. Where are we going?
Well,
Are you sure there's something
are we
seriously
going
wrong?
towards the feral people?
Absolutely. Now, where that is, I have no clue. But Life
we
is
probably
one
should have
great
gotten a
adventure.
map.
We should.
We don't need a map. Not like I
Oh,
could
God.
read. We could read it anyway. Let's just pick a direction and start walking. How big's this moon, anyways? We'll be
You're
fine.
hex crawling, yeah.
Let's look. Let's just go to the most wild, and feral, dangerous-looking area.
To die would be a
George.
great adventure.
Are you feeling any better, Spore? Are you gonna make
Probably
it?
not. Am I gonna?
I'm gonna try-
I start trying to like take off the protective gear that we bought because I'm just like
No,
I'm
no,
so
no, no,
hot.
no.
It's so hot.
Oh, no.
Am I able to soothe the repair Spore? I have droid tools and things like that. Am I able to assist?
The
a
problem here being
It's not mechanical.
Spore isn't exhibiting. No, it's not. They're not exhibiting any signs of mechanical overheating. They're wheezing asthmatically, and they are having
So
bad
Spore has
posture,
lungs?
and looking tired. You don't know.
Spore, are you a human in disguise?
No, I'm not
Are
a
you
human.
not our robot mom?
Are you a Bothan in disguise?
No, I'm a droid.
Wookiee.
I
Are
am...
you a cyborg in disguise?
No,
Yeah.
I'm just like losing. I can't even think straight. It's just it feels awful, and I
I
go
kind
to
of-
take the thing off my head, and
Do you
I
wanna-
Yeah,
probably
if no one
shouldn't do
stops
so.
you, you can take it off.
Yeah, I take it off.
I'm stopping her. No, I'm stopping her. Her head's gonna explode in this atmosphere.
Robot. We should join. It's a droid.
She's not really a robot. This is all a ruse.
I am really a robot.
Sounds like
Take it off.
contested rolls. You guys can use
Oh,
strength
no.
or dexterity, whichever's
it's
higher.
our two It's our 2 engineers
No.
fighting.
Grant, if you want to use like a sleight of hand or something, I'd also let that slide.
I'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna slide a
Okay.
hand. Oh man, yeah. Let's see what I got.
Every time she
What
like
tricks I have?
unscrews it to pop it off, it just screws. Right
Like,
Okay, so all right,
I guess I'll do a
let's-
dex check.
We're gonna die here.
it's this plus 2. So I got an
Mine was plus
18.
1.
Mine's an 18.
Mine was a 9 for a dex check.
He doubled
No.
your score, and there's just no way you can get this thing off. Anytime you try taking the bubble off of this huge monstrosity of a thing, the zipper's near your butt. It's hard to reach. It's
I'm
a pain.
6'2",
And
by the way.
it-
Even though I'm 15, I'm exceptionally tall.
He's tall enough to
Yeah.
pop your things back into place and not let you take this off.
No,
Uh.
Spore. You must press on. Don't give in to
I'm
the
just-
dark side and temptation.
I'm being really
Oh, that's a nice
dramatic.
thing.
It's just awful. They're just
I
like,
come
children,
up
you're
on
gonna have
others.
to carry me.
I'm also 6'2", so I come up and I
Oh my!
Ooh, yeah. We're
we're
giants.
twins.
We're twins.
They are. We're
Um,
twins.
and I'm the older one. So I
is.
go,
But not
I'm
really.
like 4 foot.
I come up and I kind of like put my arm under one of Spore's arms and try to help support her. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
think that this is helping. Gee,
I miss
you're
well.
supposed to be an expert.
Look, let's carry her if we have to. Two of
We
us.
can't
2
carry
men.
her across the
I'll
whole
No.
map.
lead the way.
How
Wait.
are we
How?
supposed to help
That's a
people when
bad
we look like
idea.
we need help?
What you do is you
Do
put
correct.
one leg over each shoulder, and then I put an arm around my head, and Lyra, you put an arm around your head, and we will carry this droid.
The Mandalorian
start-
is just like, why the hell am I here?
You just start seeing
We're
like
gonna die here.
really dramatic tail flicks, like head tail flicks going on, and I'm like obviously yelling at my brother, but
I'm just thinking that droid has a gun, and I want it.
All right, pal.
Or it's just
Which
like,
way should we go?
I guess just they said it was a village, so God, just like I guess
Gotta find a tunnel. It's in this. It's
into it. I
in
guess
the
yeah.
moon.
God. Make
So
it
I
a
guess
survival
I
check?
guess I'll feel for holes in the ground. Tap tap
You
tap.
can make a survival check, pal. Ezla, you can pick a direction and make a far-seeing check if you want.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
and I'm
two-
gonna
two
like be
one
like,
dice.
I'm just gonna tap my stick around until I hear something
Cool.
hollow, and then I'm gonna actually make my far-seeing check. Really good ears, guys.
West, north, or east?
Which direction we just came from? The south.
Mm-hmm.
Let's check east. Far-seeing. $15.
You rolled a 4, so you got a 15. That was
naturally.
to the east, you said?
Yeah,
Wow.
to the east.
You don't get any actual solid pictures with a 15. You're getting vague emotions. You're
Okay.
getting
Anything feral?
frustration. You're getting frustration, arguments, and disappointment and exhaustion. Pow, as the people kind of flick head tails at each other and argue about the droid's breathing and which direction to randomly pick to walk in, you decide to try to gain your bearings with a survival check. You can walk just a little bit forward to. There is undulation on this moon. There's craters, there's ups and downs, there's dunes almost.
Mhm.
And as you crest one of them and look out to see what you can see on an equally sized dune across the way from you, about no more than 100 yards, there's a herd of what could best be described as bighorn sheep-like creatures. They're blue in appearance, and they're especially skinny and spindly.
Mhm.
They don't seem to be grazing on anything. There's just rocks out here, but in this midday heat, they're sitting at the bottom of the dune, their legs and arms folded, and they are chilling. With your survival check, that's a really good roll. That's one of the highest we've had so far. You can spy extremely large craters to the west and to the north. With the dunes the way they are, these craters are probably the only actual open surface down into the core of the planet.
Okay.
And what information you're able to gather from watching the animals and how they act here on the moon, I will tell you in a bit.
Okay. Might be something this direction. Point at the craters. There might be some.
Which
some caves down
direction?
there.
Some tap into the east.
I just kind of just position her in that direction. It's like that direction.
You can roll me another farseeing check.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wanna RC in that direction.
Dang.
Hey.
This is north or west?
Let's go north.
20 is not bad. With a 20, it's not the same feelings. It's not the frustration or the argument. To the north, there's fear. There's a very scary future to your north.
Oh, I don't think we should go that way. I get a bad feeling about that way. It's a very scary feeling. Whew. Yeah.
look
Maybe
back
this way.
Roll your last one.
Okay.
Welcome, Atomic Anderson. Sorry, we have
Oh.
a follow.
18. I'm rolling so low
Damn
on these
followers.
farsations. 8.
With an 18, you have boredom, frustration, arguments, and disappointment.
Ugh. Just a whole lot of frustration out here.
Is she just reading us? Is that what's happening?
I was gonna say.
It's entirely possible.
She looks over and we're still flicking our tails.
Yeah. Where is everyone else standing in relation to these directional? Hopefully behind me.
Yes.
Well, but that way feels I get kind of a scary vibe from there. Then really kind of frustrated vibes from these ways. You know, like an old whatever this direction is and whatever this direction is. Left and right. She mixes up the left and right.
Maybe the frustration or the danger is maybe where she would go.
Oh, and arguments.
You're supposed to
I
help.
feel I see a lot of arguing in these directions.
Well, Spore is just still freaking out and being over dramatic, so he can't help you decide right now.
Yeah, let's just. Pal wants to go toward those the craters. I guess.
North or
I'm
west?
dragging Spore,
Those two
following
sets.
Pow.
Dragging.
Come on, Spore.
Which one was north? Was that was argumentative or what that?
That's the
That was
scary one.
fear.
Well,
Is this some weird Jedi test? Oh man.
I'm not afraid of that. Let's go north.
North?
You
what?
will
The
be.
scary way? How about
You
we not
will
go
be.
the scary way? How about
that's-
literally any other direction?
Well, that's where people need help. Isn't that right? We're supposed to help.
Maybe. Unless they're
We
just
gotta help the scared.
arguing a whole lot. Oh gosh, I'm gonna stand at the back.
No,
I need one
you
more-
lead the way.
I can't
I'm
see where
like-
I'm going!
What's happening behind us?
It seems
What
like
do you
our
need, Trevor?
soldier and our trained survivalist are probably the best person to lead the way at this point, since you guys are
Yeah.
carrying a droid and that one's blind. I need fortitude saves yet again from everyone.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
gonna
Trekking
stand
out into the heat
behind.
of the moon.
I'm gonna stand in the back. I'm gonna keep a
16.
guard on behind us.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
Someone did very
What?
poorly.
Wrong?
Spore.
Oh, Spore, what's... No.
Oh.
Oh no.
Rip.
Oh no.
I don't feel good, guys. I don't feel good
I
about
got a
this whole
16.
north direction.
Everyone's throwing up.
The Spore is completely unconscious, just
Oh, no.
goes limp in your arms.
This is how we die.
Has passed out from the heat.
Dead weight.
I don't think we should go to the scary place.
Ezla and Lyra, you're starting to feel it. You're feeling that kind of
Ugh.
nauseous, oppressive heat pressing down on you.
Maybe that bucket of grease wasn't such a great idea.
What time of day is it? Like midday or is it?
On the moon?
That's
Yeah.
another survival check, actually, be able to tell.
All right.
So make that,
All
and
right.
I'll tell you between with the time of day and what you see as you get closer to the bighorn
Okay.
sheep.
How
Cool.
far away have we gotten from the entrance? I imagine all this happening like just 15 feet
Like
outside
inches
the
away.
bubble.
The guards
The
are
door
watching,
opens, you
and
guys
it's
step
like-
out into the sun, and Spore just collapses.
I
Spore hasn't been
And then we
outside
start,
ever.
I don't need a suit, you
paces.
guys. Put on the suit anyway. This isn't going to be necessary. Just boom.
Is it the suit? Did the suit do this? Is this the suit?
You see the sun setting over one horizon and another rising to the one to the left. With a nat 20, you can tell that the sun's not going to set, at least for days and days of Coruscant time, the 24-hour day. In fact, with a nat 20, you can put this together in your head however you want to. The nights on this planet are probably about 10 hours long, and the days are probably about 4 days long.
Okay. Is there any like shade or any sort of thing that can like that's out of this immediate like direct sunlight that I can like drag them to?
Make a sun shield.
It is. I'll
knew
roll
we
a
should have
d20
bought
really
an
quick.
umbrella.
Please. I don't want the robot to die.
No, nothing obvious. The bighorn sheep tend to camp at the bottom of these dunes, so maybe it's a couple degrees cooler, but it's still in the impressive double sunlight. The other thing you were able to pick up with survival checks, though, there's footprints being left behind everywhere you guys step, and looking out towards the bighorn sheep. As Spore kind of collapses on the ground, they don't like that. They get really big eyes. They look startled. They look scared. They'll stand up and slowly start moseying up the dune, walking away from you guys. And not a single member of the herd leaves any kind of footprint or any mark behind on the surface of the moon. No sign that they were ever here.
Oh.
No, moon sheep always travel in awkward flocks to hide their numbers. Sorry.
But they're moving away from the crater, right?
I'm away from you.
Okay,
Away from Spore flopping onto the ground.
Alright, we need to... I tell the group we need to take Spore, drag Spore, and make up camp by the crater, because it's at least going to be a little slightly
How
cooler
far
than...
away are we from the entrance to like the city?
How far
So,
Yeah, did we even get that far?
Each fortitude save is going to be a few hours of travel. So,
Okay.
here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we need to... We're going to physics solve this one. We need to kill one of those sheep things and lay Spore on it to transfer the heat off of Spore into the sheep carcass.
Do you want me to kill a
Maybe.
sheep?
Oh,
We may have
Ooh.
to. I think that would work. I'm just trying to think of how we would lower the
make
temperature.
sheep umbrellas
Yeah.
to block the sun.
Yeah.
We could.
I'm
Sheepskin
fine with
umbrellas?
that. I know where that blaster
Be
is.
careful, though.
Yeah.
Be careful.
you
Question.
not being inducted into the Jedi Order, pal, we're able to keep any little bits of equipment that you were able to scavenge on your way to the temple. You're able to keep those. So I'll say you have a pistol or a rifle. It's your choice.
I'll take a rifle.
Okay.
Alright.
And if you want to fire, you can. Lindy, what were you saying?
These suits help keep us a little cooler, right?
Alright, where's the...
Like from
Um,
the heat. Protect us from the elements.
Assumingly drastically so, the temperatures on the surface of the moon can reach
Alright.
hundreds and hundreds of more degrees. So apparently they're working.
Well, I bought an extra suit, so I'm just gonna put that on over the suit I have on already. and see if that helps.
Logic, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a little, yeah.
Okay, cool. I got 2 suits now.
The
Drag the
preview
sheepskin
disappeared on
across.
the stream window. I don't know if that means anything.
Mm.
Yeah,
Twitch
the
still up?
preview's not stream. Yeah, program is the stream. So preview's
Yeah?
their prepping.
It's still going, it looks like.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're fine.
Cool. Yeah, so
We may have to take Spore out back and shoot him if worse comes to worse.
Hey. Pull me out.
it's a droid. You shoot it. As long as you don't do too much damage, you can fix it again.
Make me a
don't.
Well,
ranged
that's
attack.
nothing.
All right.
What's
right,
that?
Make me a
attack.
ranged attack check if you're going to be shooting at the sheep.
Yep.
Can you,
alright.
like, medically fix yourself? Aren't you a medical
I don't know-
droid?
I
Isn't
don't
this
think
a
that's
medical
how that
condition?
If I wasn't passed out.
Cool.
There we go.
I'm just talking to the unconscious droid.
That's either 3d6 or 3d8 damage.
I think it's 3d8.
It's-
How do you roll
Yeah, it is.
Right, pick up
I
a
don't-
D8 and right click it.
Oh, for the.
Okay.
So
Did
you
you
can
take
pick
my
up
blaster
D8s
pistol?
and right click.
Oh my god. Okay, that did that. Oh, cool. Yep. There we go.
Nice.
Holy
17.
shit, with a 17 damage on our first hit. I don't know if Will is watching, but that's more damage than Morsan ever did in the entire campaign last season. The 17 damage, you cut into one of the larger ones, hitting a vital spot. These things, despite being so spindly and tiny, are very, very tough. And
Mhm.
it flops about on the ground for a bit after the blaster bolt goes through. On the surface of the moon, there's really no sound as it comes out, but
Mhm.
the others start sprinting away. This one falls, collapses to the ground in a puddle of red blood.
Cool. I mean, all right. Well, let's get to work then.
Roll me a spot
Make
check
a
really
shelter.
quick, pal.
All right. Spot
And food, too!
+1. All right.
It's true.
Cool. 14.
All the red blood is seeping directly into the ground
Mhm.
almost instantaneously.
Okay.
It's being drank up.
Ooh, it's really hot. All right. Well, we should do this quickly, I guess. Our plan was to basically carve up some sort of shelter out of this creature, right?
Sort of, yeah. You think of it, if something is hot, heat will go to where there is less heat,
Yeah.
physically. So if the sheep is cooler than our overheated droid, we should be able to try to get some of the heat out of the droid onto it. I know
Okay.
I'm sciencing
Ezla.
these games, but
I rolled a random die and it landed on you. You notice something, or at least have a thought pop into your head. You were told no liquids and no food whatsoever, and your comment of, oh, yay, food,
Oh no.
does pop back into your mind as this thing collapses onto the ground. And no one else seems to quite notice yet. It feels like you're walking on Javin's ship. There's a little bit of a tremor in the ground.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
Guys!
Eat the sheep. Eat the dead sheep.
Guys, leave the sheep! Run away! There's tremors
Okay.
Run away.
in
What?
the
we
ground!
can't leave Spore.
Drag
It won't
them
eat
away
the
from
rope. It won't eat the
dead
droid.
sheep. It's all
It will. It'll eat her fungus.
No.
It will hopefully. All right.
Yeah,
Take
Yep,
the droid
that's-
and get away from the sheep.
I'm already like backing away. I'm like backing away,
Yep.
backing away.
Who
As like
I'm running.
softly
grabbing Spore?
as possible.
Just, yeah.
Can someone grab me?
Here's what I'm going
I'll
to do.
say,
I'm going to,
Gee, we need to grab.
yeah, I'm going to
I have
pull
the gun.
legs under both armpits, lock my hands together, and just run. Run. I got it. I'm dragging this droid.
And I'm helping.
Lyra, are you helping, or is it? Yeah, okay.
Yes, I'm helping.
Strength checks from the two dragging Spore.
Yeah,
Spore,
he
you can roll me
kinda
another
looks at that.
fortitude save at this point.
Okay.
Oh no.
Not great.
Mine's
Let
a 14. Oh my god.
So let me check.
Mom is sick.
I got a 13.
Mine's a 14.
You two are able to move Spore. Spore is incredibly heavy. Maybe not as heavy as 7 feet of metal should be, but it's still a lot of thing to carry, and it's kind of long and gangly and difficult. With a 5, especially as consciousness slightly returns, but the head kind of just like lulls to and fro. Random noises come out of the speaking hole.
It's like I just imagine the dial-up noise.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Spore is going to try to connect to AOL. Lindy, roll me a move silently check because you said, or I guess balance either,
gently.
because you said you were trying to be quiet and not leave a big impression.
Yeah, just like not maybe auditory silence, but vibration, like still. So you said balance or move silently. Okay, well that's just a straight d20 either.
I have a
one,
frozen face on stream. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
You can refresh and it should fix it. Got a 14.
I will refresh.
Frozen face on stream.
Can't see his
While we
frozen
wait for Strider,
frozen
I'd like to
face.
thank you, the viewers at home.
This program is made possible by viewers like you.
3M. Sorry.
14.
Not viewers like you, Grant. The other ones.
Ah.
14.
Pal, what are you doing?
Can I shoot the ground next to the sheep just to like make more noise where the corpse is?
Oh,
Just like maybe make more
genius! I love it. You know how my mechanics work somehow. Go ahead and make a ranged attack check.
All right.
Shooting the ground does have a pretty low AC, so.
Yeah.
Cool. 20.
You see, with a 20, rocks flying up into the air from the dune that you guys just walked down to get towards the sheep. There's cracking and splitting in the ground as the shaking becomes more and more severe, growing closer and closer towards the running pair carrying the droid. You shoot the ground over by the blood, or where it was a moment before. And you can see the cracking in this charred earth, or charred moon, rather, slightly part and start moving over towards where you shot, approaching the sheep's carcass. Lyra and Giovanni, what do you do?
We're booking. We're trying to get out of here. We're running towards the fearful place with the droid in tow. Right.
Perhaps you are running away from the fearful place.
Really? Oh. Well, I'm not a Jedi. This isn't a test for me.
Yeah, isn't that's the direction we headed was north, the fearful place. This is what we get.
This is the fearful place now.
Okay.
You run north. You could roll fortitude or strength, up to you guys.
I'm fortituding it because that's way higher for me.
I'm strengthening it, and I've got a bad one. 11.
All right. So let me. I got an 8.
Twins.
Wonder Twin powers.
11.
We high
An
five and
8.
everything's okay.
Spore, I'm such a benevolent DM. You can roll one more fortitude save.
Oh, breathe.
Just roll 11.
You're kind of coming to. You realize you're being carried by children.
I drop your dead weight.
Don't drop the dead weight.
It's just like
Make as few vibrations as possible.
Let's turn her into a sled and like sled away with her.
Spore stands up quickly if he can.
Yeah, you fall to the ground, wrestling your way out of their grasp, and pop up to your feet. You are generally aware of what's been going on in your surroundings.
We need to leave, children.
East or west, just not
Quietly.
any more north.
Yeah.
Where shall
Pow,
we go?
you-
Yes, that.
Where shall we go,
How,
Spore
you know-
Mother?
You notice that the cracked earth goes right underneath Ezla, completely ignoring her. And
Mhm.
all of you see huge chunks of rock being thrown up from the surface of the planet, spraying dirt 60 feet up in the air. As the ground breaks in a circular hole about 10, 15 feet in diameter. You see a circular maw of razor-sharp teeth and nothing else. And as the rocks fly away, the sheep's corpse falls, and the ground stops shaking. There's no more tremors. In fact, everything is eerily silent.
Alright, guys. Let's just move real quietly. Either east or west. Not the scary direction, which is north.
My head tails
You can
start
roll me one more
flicking.
far-seeing north check. As luck.
Okay.
And my head tails start flicking very angrily as I look at my brother and I say, "You
Oh.
wanted to bring a cheese puff?"
You're distracted right now. You are.
Yeah. Because I have
You're
that
caught up in the
360
moment.
kind of vision, so I just saw it like right behind me, and I'm just like, quiet.
Yeah, you don't get much of anything.
Yeah, okay.
But you want to go west?
Sure.
All right,
Just not.
let's go.
You guys are literally having this conversation. There's silence across the surface of the moon.
West.
West.
Yeah, I stealthily, quietly usher the children towards the west.
From anyone that
Into
wants
the
to
west.
move, you guys can do a balance or move silently check.
Yep.
Oh, what is
Oh,
it?
One of those
Check.
is higher than the other.
One of those is not great.
Um,
I'm not good at this.
Okay.
Oh. 8.
I got
Ooh,
+2 to that, so
That's a
18.
two. Oh!
Ooh!
Thank
so
God.
quiet.
I'm super
17.
sneaky.
That's moving silently.
All of you are
I keep
grouped
tapping the
together.
ground out of habit. I'm like, 8.
Can I
Most
just
of
pick
you are
up
grouped
Ezla?
together pretty well. You're nowhere near Ezla, though. She is further back. She's at the bottom of the dune, and she's kind of alone.
Oh no.
Ugh.
As
I lost a
Ezla
child.
takes
Ezla's
one
alone?
step back.
Oh no.
You guys are 20
I'm running to go
yards away.
save her.
Run quietly.
No,
As-
whether I'm quiet or not, I'll draw attention to myself so she can get away.
Oh.
That's super easy to do, man. As soon as you start running, the ground starts shaking again. The tremors in the earth come back.
Why are people running? Why are people running?
I just
Ezla,
silently
you gotta
look at
go.
him.
You've gotta go that way. And I point her to the people and I go, you gotta go quietly.
Okay, I'll try. I'm not very good at being
Alright.
quiet. It's hard
No,
when
I
you
would
can't
like to make
see
a
the
diplomacy
ground.
check. All right. So within the fiction of the world, Strider, after I've directed Ezla to the direction of the party, what do my surround? Like, I know I felt the tremors, and I probably can assume what direction they're coming from. That was a blunder on my behalf. I shouldn't have been so foolhardy. Here's what I'm
The
going
tremors
to do.
are obviously coming from the worm-like creature, this big cylinder made of teeth underground. To the west and to the east are vast expanses of white, sun-baked, parched moon. And to the north, as the ground starts ramping up and up, is the base of this crater that you guys were approaching.
And the party's still headed to the crater? I want to take the long way around to get it just in case I can't shake or lose the tremors in the worm creature. I essentially want to separate about 60 feet off from the party, something like 20-ish meters, 18.5 meters or whatever, the mathematical.
As you start running as fast as you can, I will need another fortitude save.
That may not be as fast as I can. I'm simply trying to part from them. So if we look at my move speed, which is 10 meters, I assume this would simply be like 2 rounds, or this would actually be a hustle as opposed to a run times 4. So your call. I can make a fortitude save. I get bonuses.
It's still going to have you do it in this heat and these terrible conditions. Pow, you're the one that's been the most observant and
20.
specifically watching the environment. Can I have a spot check from you?
All right. Spot check.
With a 20, you are going fast. You're lifting your feet up.
No.
Perfect form.
Pow, you don't notice anything because you're too busy watching Giovanni being chased by these cracks, these rocks throwing up into the air from underground.
That makes sense.
You are making good time, Giovanni, and the tremors are only moderately quickly approaching. You probably have another round before they catch up to you.
Now, I'm going to try now, but here's what I'm going to try now. So, kind of like dodging a tornado. So, you run at 90 degrees. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to like move silently, and maybe it'll think I'm over there, but I can just kind of drift off to the side.
You've been running in a straight line, and now you're going to try to tiptoe to the side. Okay,
yeah.
Roll it, man. What are the rest of them doing?
I'm so bad at this game.
Am I able to just
can I enhance his abilities?
I got 16.
I think
have
enhance ability
senses.
works for yourself.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I don't need no Jedi tricks.
I'm
I have
just
enhanced
watching
senses.
him terror as my brother. I'm like, no.
here to shoot whatever comes after him, if it does come after him.
If it gets me.
Like that cow.
It's a very similar scene. The rocks explode into a geyser of dirt coming up from the ground. This time you can see the pale white albino skin of definitely a worm kind of creature. There's a leathery white, leather about this thing. It comes 10, 15 feet up out of the ground, exactly where it thought Giovanni stopped running. Giovanni, you're about 6 to 10 feet away. It does fall back down into the earth again, but there's no more movement. Everything is completely silent once again.
All
People
right.
live in this moon underground.
I'm sneaking towards the crater, and back to the party. Away I go. Sorry, guys,
Sneaking to me
musical
sounds like
numbers.
moving silently.
Yeah.
Yes. It's gonna be this plus 2, 20. Oh, yeah, it
Oh.
was a 20. 18 plus 2.
Yeah, 18.
am I able to am I near Ezla now to where I could put her on my back and just
At
carry
this
her?
point, she, because of the big ruckus Giovanni made, she's able to catch up to the rest of the party.
Okay,
And
I
if
just
you want,
I
you
just
can
pick,
just...
put her on
Well-
my back and
well-
I would like to just shoot my blaster pistol at the ground far away from us so we can more easily sneak. Seems like a good idea. Yes, no?
Mhm.
Question mark?
Yes.
Roll me a ranged attack check.
I'm
Looks like
piggybacking
the
on my
blaster
space mom.
pistol is 3d6. that correct?
Oh.
I just need the d20, the actual like.
Oh, just the
shooting.
d20. Sorry.
Yeah, pew pews.
Cool.
Plus.
And then is that plus dexterity?
Yep.
So that's +1.
With a 14, you hit the ground far away. Just start firing. There's tremors after a moment, and the cracks in the ground, the mud being thrown up, seems to start moving away from you. You guys make 2 or 3 steps up again, up towards the top of the crater, and the ground stops shaking. Silence.
Just quietly
Keep
keep
going.
going.
Just be quiet. Just be quiet.
Really quiet. Yep.
Yes.
Onward, robot.
Okay. just sneak onwards in the direction we were going, carrying the
Move
blind
silently.
Oh.
Certainly not a whole party can succeed.
All right.
Oh, that's +1,
That's
so
true.
20.
Yeah. And I'm on
7,
piggybacking.
I did
so
bad.
Let's do 16.
And Giovanni, this thing did not get far enough away from you. You're still no more than 10, 15 feet away. And you might feel a stirring. I'm not going to say it comes and chases you. The rest of the party does start moving up the crater. But this thing's a few feet away from you. And you feel like if you move, it's going to know.
All right.
I guess we live here now.
Now, and here, when you say move, you mean walk in a direction, or do you mean breathe?
You can breathe, and you guys can even shout and talk to each other, it seems.
All right, I'm taking some of my spare parts, and I want to try throwing them and see if I can get it to land maybe 20, 30 feet off from me to see if I can lure this thing away.
Yeah, do a strength check.
Oh, please roll high.
I never roll strength high. 8, weenie
Okay.
arm. Ugh.
They're landing a few feet away from you. This worm, if that's what you want to call it, is not dumb. It has intelligence enough to know that the prey it wants is nearby, and it's more than happy to chase the close tremors in the ground than the far shots shot by Spore. This
Then
thing
I'm running
erupts
as
in front of
quickly as
you
possible. Yeah.
again, and you drop into a breakneck sprint the second that it breaches the ground.
And I'm running not towards the party, but essentially
Well,
We're doing it
Yes,
again.
parallel. Yeah.
Party, you're running too.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe.
I can Indiana
Yeah.
Jones this.
You guys start sprinting
I'm not-
up. The mouth to the crater is getting steeper and steeper. Every time this thing breaches the surface, it buys you a few spare seconds. But never enough time. And eventually you find yourselves sprinting, and this thing growing ever and ever closer. Until it stops. The closer you get to the mouth of this crater, to the top, the slower this thing moves. And eventually it'll stop. It'll peek its head up out of the ground. It has no eyes. It's just skin, digestive system with teeth. But it refuses to come any closer.
alright, so that
That's what
probably
the crater
means
was.
there's something worse in the crater that it's
Yeah.
scared to go up against.
I think that thing's where the crater is where it lives. I think it made the crater.
Well, then why wouldn't
An
it come
asteroid made
closer?
a crater.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would make a hole, not a crater. That's just me, though.
All right, well, just get out of this thing. Are you able to get out?
Let's just peek over the. Let's just gently peek over the top of the crater, mayhaps. Those of us who can peek.
I'm going to
Yes, I
need
can.
you tell me your ACs, please. As
No.
the
Great.
failed, the nat 1 on the spot check has not warned any of you to the threat coming from above.
Is that
Oh,
the
no.
defense?
I have a defense of 11.
15.
Yeah, the defense.
I have
13.
a defense of 13.
This first one
Oh my god.
It's going to
think
be
this
for
provides
Giovanni.
me with half cover.
Oh no.
Giovanni
Piggyback.
is a 14 hit.
A 14 hits me.
Spore. 22.
What? Oh no.
Rip.
Lyra, does a 20 hit you?
Yeah.
Pow, 23.
Yep.
Ezla. Fantasy Grounds loves me!
My god.
Did it crit?
What
18.
Oh no.
18. Oh, that hits.
There's sparkling. Little bits of light coming from the top of the crater. There's silhouettes with glowing, visible light coming from near the tops of their heads.
Hmm.
You hear deep sounds, almost like wind rushing. And you see little metal needles piercing your flesh.
Shoot. Our suits.
We're no longer airtight.
Oh no!
Our suits.
Your suits are pierced, your flesh is pierced. And
Yeah.
that's probably more than a fantastic place to stop
Ah!
session 1.
Total party
We're doing so great, guys.
Yeah.
I told you
Great
guys
job.
we should have gone to the bar. We would have had a great time.
You're also
Yeah.
11, Ezla.
Yeah, we're
You
tied.
can't
Yeah,
just
you
go to
know-
the pub and wait for it to all blow over.
If I give them enough money, they will serve me a drink.
If they give us some money, they're just gonna rob us.
Probably true. Well, thank you, chat, for joining us in this first episode of Fantasy Grounds. I got some plugs and stuff, but first, let's go around the cast and crew. Did you enjoy yourself? Where can we find you? What do you think of the first session, Grant?
Well, hey everyone, I actually really enjoyed it. The first role-playing game I ever played was D6 Star Wars role-playing game when I was 10 years old, and I had to run for a group of 17-year-olds. And I've been playing role-playing games ever since, so it's always fun to play a Star Wars game. You can find me online on Twitter at WisePapaGrant, on Twitch at Grant R. Ellis. I'm an occasional streamer and an independent content creator for tabletop RPGs. On Mondays, I'm on the Greyhawk channel's Vile and Villainous campaign. Tuesday nights, I'm on Myth Dawn on Unmade Gaming. Wednesdays, you can catch me here on Encounter Roleplay at the same time, same place. Thursdays, I'm on WebDM's Land Between Two Rivers. Friday, I'm on Off the Table, running for Matt Mercer, Laura Lania, Kiana Shaw, and Summer Job and Marcy Villan. And on Sundays, I'm on Monty Cook Games' official Twitch channel for the Owl of Lycia campaign. And that's where you can find me. And at GexCon, GenCon, Origins, and PAX Unplugged.
Holy heck, that is one hell of a schedule. As a
Yeah.
segue, speaking of hells of schedules, Lindy, would you
Hi.
think?
She has
Oh,
me
that was
beat.
so much fun. We're so screwed. It's gonna be great. I can't wait for next week. Man, my kid is such a troublemaker. Dang it, Esla. This is great. I'm loving this. This is so much fun. I can't wait to get even to know the group even better. It's gonna be awesome. We've got Mr. Robot Space Mom and some, dark side tendency Jedis and just a really fed up with us Mandalorian. I'm so excited. This is fantastic. You can find me online at LaughLoveLindy on Twitch and Twitter. Doing lots and lots and lots of games. Sunday nights, Grimjack21502's channel for some Pulp Cthulhu. Tuesday, during the day at some point, Tomes of Tentacles gets released, and it's super awesome. That's a Cthulhu podcast from Encounter Roleplay. Tuesday nights at my channel, currently running Out of the Abyss. Wednesday afternoons, like 3 hours before this game starts, there is Doors to Darkness, Call of Cthulhu game on Encounter Roleplay, and then there's this game, which is super cool and awesome. And then Thursdays, WebGM, their Twitch channel, playing some D&D. Then next week, on Grimjack21502's channel, starting Firefly RPG, and it's gonna be awesome. Lots of space stuff for me right now. I love it. That's it.
Woof, I don't know how you have that stamina to keep up that much tabletop.
She's vigorous.
Maybe if I got invites to more games, I could test my stamina as well. Teasing, of course. Speaking of robot cat mom space mommy, Kayla.
Yes.
Spore is the best.
Oh,
sorry, yeah, go ahead.
No, thank you. I love Spore. Please don't kill my robot son. I'm very distressed. This was a lot of fun. Thanks. This is my first stream game, so I was really nervous, but everybody's really great, and I'm excited to build this character more. But you can find me. My username is, I think, shown here. It's KYNCLI on like everything on Twitter and everything, and I post a lot of art. So if you like art, I draw a lot. And this is the only D&D game I stream, so it's short for me. That's it.
A Renaissance woman of many talents. Segues write themselves, really. Speaking of many talents, Lyra, Amber, how was the first session?
Oh my gosh, it was a lot of fun. Kind of thinking about how we're gonna get out of this, but it was very entertaining. You can find me at _D&D on Twitter, and just like Kayla, this is the only game that I stream in. So my list is also pretty short, but I had a lot of fun. You guys are awesome, very entertaining.
Thank you. And Shauna, heck that Twitter handle. I'm not gonna try to say that.
Oh yes.
How was
Flying
how's the game?
Cirrus. Oh, it was awesome. I love playing Star Wars, and I love this group is pretty great. Although we have to have words for the child endangerment is not light side, so. but I can be found doing a Dice Camera Action reaction show with on Coruscant RPG's channel on Tuesdays after Dice Camera Action at 10 o'clock, and it re-airs on Thursdays at 7 p.m. right before Into the Birdcage. And we just got done with on Power Score's channel for Tomb of Annihilation. We finally finished that, so excited to see where we do that next, and we'll probably do one-shots and some other adventures coming up soon, so keep an eye out for that.
Tremendous good stuff. As for me, I'm Strider Heap. I am running this game every Wednesday. I am on Pulp Cthulhu on Sunday. With Lindy, we are doing Saturday and Sunday this week. So, double the pulpy goodness. This is the place to be. I'm seeing some cheers come in. Grant, do you want to read those out really quick?
It looks like we got some cheers coming from Lisa Chen, the merciful DM. She's got a lot of cupcakes and robots being thrown our way. And yes, and she wants us to save the good robot boy. And I agree. We should save. These are cakes, not waffles, but yay, waffle talk type. So those are some cheers for Shauna and some cheers for Kayla.
We have a behind-the-scenes engineer. Wanted to give him a shout-out, but when you said save the robot boy, he started shaking his head. So,
How dare!
behind-the-scenes drama instead.
We'll just call him the network. He can be the
I
AI.
appreciate-
He's the ship's AI.
Yes. I enjoy a new season. There's always kinks to be worked out. We have new systems, new fantasy ground, which loves the DM and the players. Oh, wow. Those dice rolls today are unbelievable. Apparently, the Force is with us. So, come check us out next episode. I'm going to be hyped up. Same time, same place. Until then, try not to roll too many nat ones, because we want to be here laughing when you do. Good night.